And we are live, everyone. Let's begin. So, when last we left the students of the Mage Tower, well, why don't you all get into recapping this a bit? We'll take turns reading through this brief synopsis that I've written up here. Audrey, why don't you take us away with the first paragraph after I recite that after a first class week at the Mage Tower, here is where you stand.
Aaron, Bernardo, and Rhiannon all experience surges of power as they have tested their magical abilities. These are unusual to the majority of the students in the tower, save for one named Alvina, who has experienced them as well.
And Gina, why don't you take our next paragraph here?
A rivalry with fellow student Salve and one of her accomplices, Lewis, has brewed. They ventured together to the tower's lower levels to steal Vergent crystal dust and spell scrolls for the competition in the Omnisphere.
And Paul, finish us out.
The edges of many mysteries have been perceived. One which now looms is the Vault of Memories, within which may lay answers to your mysterious arrival at the tower and perhaps more.
All right. So, it is here, on the 8th floor, where last we left you all, as Alvina showed you this mysterious door, that I return you to the scene. From here on, if there's nothing more for you to do, you can simply exit and move on to various stages of the coming week. But, if there is anything you wish to do while you're here, this is your opportunity to do it.
Did she indicate that it was not able to be accessed at this time?
Indeed, she will say, I've been working on... Kind of looks around a bit suspiciously, and then she'll say under her breath, been working on something to get us in, but I don't have it with me. We should plan
Very
our
well.
timing on this carefully.
Whatever assistance you need, I am at your disposal.
Same.
Well, there's no use loitering around here, unless there's anything else you want to see here. This floor is mostly empty, I believe. Teachers are roomed on the 7th floor below us and do more of their experiments above.
So there are floors above us.
There are 10 floors to the Mage Tower.
Okay.
The floor above, we know mostly as the Golem Laboratory. Senior students are given the basically scholarly, as you begin to walk back away, or Alvina at least leads you, a scholarly knowledge of Golem craft, which is partially a transference of essence of the mage into the clay construct. It's a very dangerous process, and if not done with absolute care, can, as well as I understand it, cause brain damage to the caster.
Oh, that's pleasant. I'm gonna just take one quick look behind us again. The door. Does it go right to the floor, or does it look like there's any kind of gap?
It seems to be very smoothly against the floor, indeed.
Okay.
No worming your way through this time.
As Rihanna looked at the door, looked back, she saw a copy of herself mimicking her motions, but not quite exactly. And then it disappeared quickly and was replaced with Bernardo.
Brianna just kind of shakes her head, just like thinking she's delusional. Thank you for giving Rhiannon a complex. This is great.
Sure, Bernardo is happy to oblige.
I do have a question for Alvina. In your history classes of this tower, did they mention how long this tower has been here in this capacity?
As a school, you mean?
Yes, as in abducting unwilling students, let's call them. Prisoners, if you must.
Sure. My memory is terrible with dates precisely, but I can say that I recall it was a second Virgin Emperor's ruling that mages, unsanctioned mages, be brought here and treated as anything better than prisoners. I believe that quite quickly this place was transformed into a prison, but it was those later revisions that turned it into an actual place of learning, a school where mages in the Cadlian space were treated as anything other than, leftover insults from the Axaris regime.
I do wonder, given all this education, how many golems have been created over those years? What are we looking at?
Well, many of the golems, once they've been created, as far as I know, are actually shipped off for use by sanctioned mages. I believe it might be part of the graduation process. I need to study up on finer points of that.
Perhaps graduating simply means you become a golem for the Empire.
Well, that's a disturbing thought.
Yeah.
What else would they do with all of these students? I mean, from the look of it, this place is very well occupied, and most of them look young, no? Which means that they don't stick around for very long. And I can't believe that too many of them are actually allowed back out into society, reformed or not.
I'm just wondering, though, how many people actually advance very far. We seem to be the anomaly, not the norm.
Well,
Look at
we
Lomé.
won't know unless we stay here for a very long time.
Look at Lomé. She's been here. She's still down at this first level.
After how
And,
long? Months?
I mean, it just seems that more than not, people are here for longer.
Then why is no one old?
I'm over 100 years old. Oh, wait, I'm an elf. Never mind. Some people just have good genes.
I think he
Or
also
aren't human.
meant, like, why is there no one who's elderly?
Alvina will say, besides the teachers, that is.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, it's a school.
No, it's not a school.
Well,
It's a
okay.
prison.
It's a school, but I'm generally schools are for the younger folk.
My
Wow.
point is that at some point you would have to be washed out if you were not progressing. Since no one is elderly amongst the student population, they have a method. They either get rid of you, turn you into a golem. They don't expel you and just let you go. They don't make you servants.
I'd
Have
like
we
you all
actually- that
to
was the
roll
question. Have we
wisdom
seen
checks,
an
please.
wisdom checks? Yeah, I was gonna say, have we seen older servants?
I would say that you've probably seen one or two who are graying.
Okay.
Oh no, perfect.
Damn.
Bernardo, as you're musing on these details and walking along the halls with the rest of your group as you descend, you are caught suddenly. And Aaron, why don't you go ahead and roll that wisdom as well to see if you get any of this. Rhiannon, you will not.
Yeah, I know.
It's all them chemicals. There's something in the water.
Okay, just Bernardo then. As you're musing on these details and you're walking, you are suddenly hit by a sourceless, at least by its sound, scream. A wail, aggressive and haunting, of a male voice, but disembodied and echoing almost as well. It strikes you suddenly, and as you look around the space, there seems to be no source, though it did strike your right ear first. The only detail of note besides your group moving is that this suit of armor standing watch on the wall shudders.
The armor is not in a position to be. It wouldn't be my right ear.
It
I
would.
mean, is its location?
It would.
Yeah, 'cause if it's this one. that'd be
He'll
fine.
stop and say, "Did you feel that? Did you hear that?"
Alvina will
Gotta be
turn.
a flat kind of animal.
Actually, roll for her as well, come to think of it. So she'll say, "Heard what?"
There was some sort of disembodied scream, a howl, almost like a banshee. And then the armor shirt. I don't think that they are willing servants. I think that maybe souls are trapped in there.
Her eyes
We
go a
gotta
little
get out of
wide.
here.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
There's definitely something in the ether that is in agony or torment, it felt like.
That's not good.
Let's get off this floor first.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just realizing I don't know where I live anymore in this building. They keep changing everything. I literally don't know where I live.
You do indeed.
So as they're going down the stairs, Bernardo is replaced with Lewis. Is now walking along with you.
Because
He's
Rhiannon's
also
behind-
keeping an eye out for the real Lewis, just in case.
Rhiannon just instinctively goes to slap you.
Does she need to roll an attack roll?
I'm
No.
wondering because Bernardo is
Yeah.
shorter.
So indeed, as you see the visage of your school nemesis, in a sense, you swipe through his ethereal head, unsuccessful in your slap.
What?
I
the
still
heck?
got it. Oh, never mind. I'm just practicing. I'll be making a little trip later on into his room and acquiring his note to get us access to supplies.
I might still live there. I don't know.
I think you were promoted. I
Yeah,
might live
midday.
there.
I don't know where I live.
Follow the bee, he'll tell you.
Probably saying the same thing I am. Where do we live now? I'm just gonna sleep in a hallway.
So, as you descend to the lower floors of the tower, reaching closer to your prospective rooms, Alvina will stop your small group and say, "I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow morning.
Of course.
I'll present to you my plan for this. I think it's best that we act fairly quickly, but with care. I think we're on the precipice of figuring out what to do with this whole situation."
Alvina, before you go, one question.
Yes.
Do you use this Virgin Dust regularly?
I've used it for some competitions, but not as a recreation.
Okay. I'm just curious as to its long-term effects, as there seems to be several signs of addiction amongst the student population of those who frequently use it.
Oh,
And I'm
yes.
curious.
She'll say, "Oh, yes, it definitely has had that effect on some people, but I myself have only ever experienced some exhaustion after excessive use during competitions. Nothing long-lasting, I hope."
I was merely curious. Thank you. We will see you tomorrow.
So, in this case, before the morning comes and you all convene in the breakfast hall, is there any nightly activities that any of you wish to take part in? You want to do your shenanigans tonight, Bernardo?
I don't know where I live,
Okay.
and nighttime is when he's probably in his room, so I am waiting until they are out and about.
Perfect. So we will go to the next morning in that case.
I was gonna say Rihanna's just gonna start skimming through that history of the druids book she borrowed. That one's
History of
from
the
actual
elves, the lineage of the elves.
library. No, there's druids. I was looking specifically for information on druids, and I had taken that one from the library.
What do you have noted as the title of the book?
A history of druids.
History of Druids.
Yeah, that's what I had asked for. I
Hmm.
mean, unless it's something else. If that's the case, no worries.
I believe, as I recall, the title of the book that I had directed you to was On the Lineage of the Elves.
Okay,
But
that's fine. Yeah, no, we're just gonna kind of noodle around. I mean, again, just starting to skim it because I'm still going to try to get some sleep since the sleep cycles here are weird.
Aren't elves and druids the same thing? Interjects Bernardo.
No,
Absolutely not.
some elves are not druids, and some druids are. No, that's not how this works. Druids are just like.
I will say this for you then. As your curiosity is druids, you are drawn within the lineage of the elves to a particular subsection rather, detailing the history of druidism in Cadlia. Particularly detailed is, in recent years, during the rise of the Virgin Empire, specific allowance was given to local groups, that is, towns, settlements, native groups that existed before the Empire's rise to power, which allowed for a singular individual as a natural spellcaster, as is aligned with that settlement. A town shaman, a healer, a druid, for example.
Okay.
This is something that seems familiar to you, but you're pretty sure that where you're from in the woods, that kind of wasn't fully acquiesced to.
I mean, I feel like I don't think we were counted as a town or a settlement.
Also, you were in what is somewhat murky territory, as the elves are an allied group to the Virgin Empire. They're still within their domain, but there's definitely some diplomatic things going on there beyond
right,
just...
and also, again, I mean, I figured this book is from the library, just off the shelf, which means this is their sanitized version of what they want us to know.
This was the book from the downstairs library.
No, I didn't take anything from downstairs. Did I?
It was second level. I think you got it from where I got the stone from.
Yeah, no, I got the book from the library. Like, I just...
Pardon my memory, then.
No worries. No. Because at the time, I was just trying to see, like, what they're saying versus what I know.
I actually think you got two different documents. One from downstairs, and
No,
then
I was
you got
actually just looking at the one
from the library.
From the library is what I was looking into. Just to see again what I know versus what they're saying.
Oh, good. This is a game of note taking to a certain extent. So, in spite of what you may have discovered in the library, what you have noted is what we'll go with. So the information I've just given you on druids is what you've got.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I mean, because at this point, it's like I know how I live, so I don't really.
And when I'm able, I'll review our last session and confirm that and
yeah, no, I mean,
shortcut you any information updating those notes that you need.
Yeah, we haven't played in a couple weeks. Totally makes sense.
All good.
Bernardo will say to Rhiannon as she's, going over skimming her book, he'll say, "I just don't understand about these elves. Why are druids and elves to me are the same thing, the way that all halflings are charismatic like me."
Okay, charismatic is kind of a personality trait. Druid, it involves training to be a druid. You don't just like pop up a druid. You do just kind of pop out an elf. But then you, and also some elves are just not good at like druiding.
You pop out an elf? I mean, I thought that they were grown from plants and trees and seeds. I'm so confused.
Did you go to any school? I mean, I literally lived in the woods, and
We
I
had
have a better.
servants. I just know what they told me.
Okay, see, again, I lived in the literal woods, and I have a better grasp on how people come into being than you do, and I'm a little concerned.
Perhaps a topic for another day.
People do not come from plants.
Elves do. I've seen it.
I am an elf. I did not come from a plant.
And he'll just kind of nod his head and yes you to death. He'll be like, okay, all right.
Okay, and now Bernardo thinks I'm a tree. Okay.
He thinks you're a tree, indeed. Nothing else.
Oh god. I'm just gonna go eat things.
Make your way
you know
to
what I
your breakfast
understand?
table of your choosing.
I
at your will.
understand how breakfast works. I do not understand how Bernardo works. Heading over to Alvina's table because she said she wanted to talk to us.
Alrighty. So, as the two of you, first of all, sit down, you can see Alvina and her friend Lulu Bell going over what seems to be a list of things, and Lulu's kind of nodding, and then shakes her head, and then nods. And Alvina looks up at the two of you, says, "Good morning. Sorry, just getting some things in order. Some possibilities here."
It's fine. I know we need to talk about things, but I need food first because this one, and I point to Bernardo, is a lot in the morning. A whole lot.
She simply cannot appreciate an inquisitive mind. That's all.
I'm not a tree.
All right, you're not a tree. And he'll give her a wink.
As this servant places down food for you for this
Food. I understand you.
morning and departs, Alvina will then roll up the list and hand it to Lulu and lean in towards the three of you. Say, "Right, here's my thought. The time when the most amount of students and teachers are occupied is the Omnisphere Games. Today's the start of a fresh week. I'm sure you all have schedules fairly similar to your last ones for class attendance. You can attend those classes, do what you need to complete your school week. But otherwise, it's a plan for on day 4, during the Omni Games, to make our way, the 5 of us. Perhaps anyone else you might choose to trust." She kind of looks over at the table where Cedric and Lomé sit. "If you want to. Otherwise, the 5 of us is fully well enough. Lulu and I will have a way to get in. We'll discover what's inside that vault." That sound a fair plan to you all?
Indeed.
From
What do
us.
you need from us in the meantime?
Well, let's just put it this way. I've been preparing for this for a while. I've not wanted to do it such a small unit. More of us will be more prepared for whatever we face.
I think we could probably convince Cedric, but I don't really know about LeMay. She's pretty gung-ho about this place.
That's... Go ahead. Never mind. That's your call. If you feel that you don't need more, this is enough. I just didn't want to do it with just Lulu and I. If anything went wrong, it would have doom.
I have some ways to help if anybody gets hurt, so not just how they taught us, just what I know.
At this time, you observe across the hall as the tall, white-bearded headmaster of the school that you've observed several times enters the breakfast hall, making his way directly towards the central podium.
Well, that's not concerning.
As he makes his way there, he begins to speak, his voice echoing through the breakfast hall, resonating from this space, as if magic of the room itself amplifies his voice. He speaks out to say, "My students, I finally am here to grant an official welcome to our 3 new members. Erin Sunsong, Bernardo Shagwell, Rhiannon Balry. Welcome to the Mage Tower. I hope that your initiative week has gone wonderfully. I have not had the pleasure," at this point he is directly looking towards all of you, "of speaking with you each. In time, well for both of us, I will find you this week, so that we might get to know each other personally. Additionally, I am most excited to announce that by the end of this week, we shall have a graduation. Would like to speak with you at the conclusion of this meal. Alvina, your time is close to coming." Alvina nods, kind of looks down to her bowl. She doesn't seem to be eating very quickly after this realization. Just nods and says, "Yes, Headmaster." Will all of you have any response to his direct communication to you?
Rhiannon has been subconsciously stabbing her breakfast to the point that it's now just a crushed mess on her plate.
Well, if you're not going to eat that, Bernardo will just nod at him and continue eating
Rhiannon
breakfast.
is looking at the headmaster with a very forced smile, but is stabbing her breakfast.
Yeah, you realize that as you're stabbing it, eventually you're just stabbing your plate because Bernardo stole all your food.
Bernardo may also be getting stabbed if that's the case.
The headmaster will then say, "Enjoy the rest of your meal, everyone." The smile and a nod, and then he descends from the podium.
I would like to discern whether his smile and a nod was sincere or gratuitously fake.
Roll an insight check, please. 12. I would say that it seems as genuine as any man's expression, but did not seem to express anything more genuine past that.
It's certainly not a halfling's sincerity.
That is certain.
I think I killed my toast.
You disintegrated it.
Yeah.
As the headmaster exits the hall, Lulu's eyes go a bit screwy for a moment, and she says, "What does he eat?"
The headmaster?
And she kind of shakes her head again. Goes, "Oh, sorry. Oh, I think I had another moment."
I'm gonna tuck that away in my memory just in case. Seems those are important.
Well, since we're playing that game, he eats the souls of the students that graduate.
I mean, probably. Okay, so we need to do this quickly. When do they actually have graduations? Have you ever seen one, Aldina? I'm sorry, I'm talking very quickly.
It's all right, she says. Usually, instead of the normal period for rest on that final day of the week, students for graduations are brought up for testing. You all have been strange examples. In fact, I begin to wonder, given the not what I've overheard, but the fact that there's been conversations, something was different for you. I don't know.
Next question. Has he ever acknowledged new students like this before?
Usually he does, actually.
Okay. That makes me feel...
But, and then she turns to Lulu and says, he never eats with us. He only ever visits the hall to make announcements.
He is not a man. He is something else until proven otherwise.
And she gives you a quizzical expression, says, I think he's a man.
He thinks I'm a tree, so I really don't know.
He could be a 1,000-year-old vampire for all you know. You've never seen him eat. Perhaps he drinks blood. Perhaps he feeds on psychic energy. The limits are just incredible. You know, where's your imagination?
Say,
more based in reality than yours?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Well, and then she looks rather disappointedly at her empty oatmeal bowl and says, I guess I've got to go have a talk with him. And she slowly slides it away from herself and pulls herself up from the bench.
As she's getting up, Bernardo will say, in all seriousness, heed me well, guard your mind. Do not let his thoughts in.
She seriously gives you a nod and says, thank you, Bernardo. I'll see you all soon. Exits the hall.
He knows we're up to something. That's delightful.
I don't know, but if he's as powerful as a headmaster should be, perhaps reading minds wouldn't be too difficult for him. That's my concern.
Okay. So, I guess we have to, he's gonna talk to each... I don't like this.
So,
Aaron, what do you think?
Yeah. Gina, what is Aaron thinking on this situation?
She's mostly listening and observing, just trying to figure out what the best course of action would be. She's not quite sure yet.
So, as we move into this second week, we're going to treat things a little bit differently. As you have already attended classes for a week, we're going to focus instead on the periods between those classes when you are pursuing your own ends. So to that extent, we'll be jumping through time a bit, and I'm curious for each of you what exactly you are intending to do with the time that you may take. I know that Bernardo was interested in some Lewis shenanigans. I know that Aaron was interested in speaking with Professor Grimbold, and I believe that Rhiannon wanted to speak with Professor Hoban, so we can address all of those things.
Yes.
And then, in addition to that, is there anything else that is immediately on all of your minds to do? perhaps another visit to the basement.
That's part of my plan.
Yeah. Rhiannon wants in on that too.
Yeah.
Only not the part that we did before. I'm more interested in all those books and all the other things in that room.
The only other thing Bernardo's looking at is to possibly acquire other artifacts of power throughout the tower.
Oh, about
Stones or otherwise.
that. About that other room. There is something down there you might want. I didn't snag it because I didn't want to press my luck.
I see. Frivolous words about elves, yes. Power, no. Check, got it.
What? I'm not putting everything out on the table all at once. This place is creepy, and I barely know you.
Don't worry, we're going down again.
See?
It's like this game I used to play when I was a kid. You gotta collect them all.
We did something like that too. I think it's just a kid thing.
You also have a lead, Bernardo, if you wish to poke around for it, of on the 5th floor, potentially another one of these IO stones you're seeking in the possession of a student.
Thank you, I did not remember that one.
Indeed.
As I see Lomaine and what was his name again?
Lomé and Cedric are approaching you.
Bernardo will hail them friendly and wave them over.
Lomé's going to come right up to the end of the table, and Cedric will humbly take a seat on the end of the bench here, and Lomé will say, "Hey, everybody. I haven't seen you guys a lot lately. Y'all doing okay?"
Sure. Why not? I still barely know where I live, but that's fine.
Weren't the Omnisphere games amazing yesterday? I can't believe we did so well. You did so well. I was only there for one round.
Not my favorite thing. However, did get to absolutely wreck Lewis, which was great. So I'll give it that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. You have any strategies in mind for next week?
Hope and maybe turn into a bear.
Is she on our team?
At this point, she's too low level to be on your team because she's still 1st level, but she will say, "I'm really close to finishing my work on the final things I need to see if maybe this week or next week, I can see about testing to go up to 2nd level." So excited!
Congratulations. This week, the strategy is whiskey and bad decisions. Next week, it might change. Maybe you can join us.
Okay.
My strategy is always turn into a bear. It works. I think.
She'll say, "Well, I just wanted to say hi and check in with you all. I guess I'll see you in classes. Let me know if you all need any help with anything. I'm pretty busy, but I haven't seen you, and I'd like to see you more." Okay.
That would be great. Just make sure you pass your classes.
I'm
gonna sit down for a chat soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Maybe tonight at dinner. Okay.
Sure.
Well, I have to get going. I don't want to make sure I'm not late again. See ya. And she dashes off. After she departs, Cedric will give kind of a... she's great. I wanted to check in on all of you, as did she, but maybe with a little bit more low-key of energy.
Thank you.
I sense that this has been a big first week for you all, and things are getting pretty rocky for you.
Rhiannon just looks down at her destroyed breakfast. Kind of.
Yeah, and I'd urge steadiness. It'll take some time for you to get used to the way things are around here, and I know that you've advanced beyond me in levels, but I've been here a little longer, so I don't know. Just if any of you want a friend to study next to, just know that I'm here.
How long have you been here? Just trying to gauge.
This is my second month.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Just wondering.
Yeah.
Trying to understand how long people have been here. I don't quite understand. I mean, we have people at 4th level in classes with us when we were still down at 1st level. It was really confusing.
Oh, they mix in a little bit. It's sort of curricular reinforcement. And there's also stuff in the lessons that's probably going over your heads that they're getting.
Oh. That makes sense, I guess. Maybe.
Well, anyway, best to you.
Bernardo, well, before he leaves, he'll say, Cedric, do you believe in the status quo?
I believe the status quo is, it is what it is. We do our best to work within it.
You would not affect change if you could?
I mean, change as something that you could affect is ever a dangerous subject. I mean, I did apply to be here, and I do see the downsides of this place, but if there is positive change to be made, I will of course do it. But I think this is also in the vein of what I'm cautioning you all a bit against, if you take my meaning, just to be safe. Okay?
Absolutely. I was more inquiring along the lines of the pursuit of truth, knowledge.
Truth is, of course, the utmost objective in time.
At what cost would you be willing to pay for the truth?
I'm of the opinion that diligent study and studiousness will eventually the truth reveal in every field of life. People that make great sacrifices for what they call truth are often seeking affirmation on the perspectives that they hold internally. Often it comes at too great a cost for them.
Interesting theory. I'll think on this.
Indeed. She'll nod. He'll nod. And depart.
Probably nodding too.
And for a moment, Bernardo assumes Cedric's face for about 6 seconds, and then it disappears.
Why do you keep doing that?
You go, shh, don't draw attention. I'm practicing.
So, Lulu just kind of glasses over in her eyes, stands up, and leaves. Without a word. You are sat, remaining, at this breakfast table. Your food mostly complete. Other students filtering out of the hall as classes are set to begin. You do have a schedule of classes to go to, but as I previously mentioned, we're not going to be directly interfacing with that for our session today.
When Lulu leaves, I think we should, like Cedric said, keep a low profile for now. I'm gonna go to class, I guess. Maybe. No, going to class. We've got to do that.
Your enthusiasm is overwhelming.
Do I look like the type of person who likes school? Really?
You look like you could use some watering and some fresh soil.
Okay,
However, we've got more important things. Pay attention. My plan is to tail Lewis. When he leaves his room, I will enter looking like him. I will con his roommates into believing that I am him. I will access his chest. I will steal his note, allowing us entrance to the basement. And from there, my fellow intrepid burglars, we shall burgle the hell out of everything we see.
He's still living in the room that I was in for a whole day. His roommates don't care.
I don't expect to have to speak to them.
You really don't.
Yeah, dude. Oh, gnarly, bro.
I think I'm gonna throw up a little.
Same.
That
I
was-
already did.
Okay.
That was him practicing his Lewis speech.
Really don't. Like I said, his roommates don't actually care.
I don't even think they know what's going on half the time.
No. The roommates do. Lewis, not so much. The roommates just ignore him because, well, he exists.
Don't we all try to ignore him?
Fair. I've known him all of a week, and I wish I never ever did.
Would either of you like to amend the plan? I'm open to suggestion.
Once we get downstairs, I can turn into something little and squeak my way in. But other than that, no.
Aaron?
Gina, do you want to make any amendments to the plan to deceive Lewis, maybe getting involved directly?
So honestly, because his brain is so addled, it'll be really easy to distract him.
Just your presence alone would keep him occupied for hours.
I have a shiny thing I could probably
Listen,
just go
all I
like
have to
this
do
and-
is tell him, oh, let's go on a date. I'll meet you in the basement. And he'll frickin' go there.
No, don't do that to yourself.
Oh, I wouldn't actually go on it. I would just send him down there on a wild goose chase.
No, that's where we're going.
You just need a shiny thing on a string.
Well,
and
somewhere
be
else.
distracted.
Just somewhere else.
Just a shiny thing on a string.
Ooh.
It'd be hilarious.
You know, I'll put some of that powder on the string on a pole.
Bernardo chuckles. I approve, however you keep him occupied.
Okay.
It's not my business.
So, let's take us to the second floor. Here, I'll say, during the break period now, after having completed your first period class, some lessons with, let's see here. Our classes for week 1 went in this order. Things will be a little bit different for week 2. You have just completed on the third floor a time with the medicinal magic class. This time, your focus has been on brewing very simple potions. And so I'm going to give you all the expertise to, in the presence of discovering healing herbs, attempt to brew healing potions. This will be a skill check, probably revolving intelligence, if that ever becomes relevant. Okay, so I will note that just here for myself. Perfect. Alrighty. So, Bernardo, you can spy at the end of this hall. Let me illuminate this for you. In fact, I can just go ahead and turn on the global illumination for this floor. The two students alongside Lewis who have recently returned to their room, now heading inside. And you can hear the voice of Lewis within as he says, "Hey guys, do you think I have?" And they said, No. And he says, "Oh, okay." And
I love them.
and so they are within the room at this time. Bernardo, what is your plan? Wait, or do you want to invite your other two friends to do anything to distract?
Bernardo's plan was to have Aaron and Rhiannon invite Lewis to anywhere on any other floor.
Okay.
And as soon as he left, I would wait maybe 2 minutes and enter the room.
Okay. Aaron, Rhiannon,
We
you're
can
up
just
then.
lure him out by walking by and talking loud enough that he knows we're outside.
It's on you.
Aaron, I am deferring to you. How do we deal with us? This is annoying. We need the thing, though.
You know what?
Hmm.
Whatever floor we're not going to, I don't even care what floor it is. I'll just tell him I hid some powder in one of those suits of armor up there.
Oh, I like this. I like this.
All right.
Let's see. We're on the second floor.
You
Let's
are.
send him up to 4.
Okay.
He'll be stuck on the stairs for a while, anyways. There's too many of those.
Yes, exactly. Send him high up.
It's
But not
2
too-
packets, and that you will enjoy it together. How about that?
Oh God, I hate you so
For him
much.
to wait for you up on the 4th floor.
Yeah, there we go. I like that.
Alright.
Okay.
Good plan. Time to
Let's
perform.
do this. Come on, Aaron. Let's do this nonsense.
Okay.
Move on up.
Do, do, do.
I'm not moving until he
Okay.
leaves.
Aaron, come down the hall.
I'll jump you
There we go.
over to.
Uh,
This is the leaned open door where you can hear the sounds of some rather intense. Oh no! Oh come on, that's ridiculous. He says, "I got you again. Just rematch. I'll take the black pieces this time." It's on you to approach the room.
Get going. We don't have all night.
Aaron, because I'm a bat, I can't make this work. I'm not the one. I'm the goody goody. I don't want to do this stupid powder. So me saying I'm going to is not.
Well,
gonna
everybody
be-
knows you already did.
I was drugged against my will.
Nobody knows that but me.
No. I've been very vocal about that.
Oh, wait. You think they listen to your... No, they don't believe that. I'm sorry. That's kind of like the classic good girl protesting, no, yes.
I'm going to destroy you. I don't know how.
Possibly,
yet,
but
I will destroy you.
trees don't run very fast, so I think I've got a good shot. Anyways, focus. We've got something to do.
Could summon a swarm of spiders to encase you in your sleep. And I just walk away. Aaron, help me.
All right,
Okay.
let's make our way down to this doorway and get going.
You go. You start this. I'm just here. I don't know why I'm here. Maybe to threaten the spiders.
All right. As you're talking quietly outside the room, one of the roommates will poke his head out and say, "Hey, can I help you, ladies?"
My friend here was looking for Lewis.
Why would you ever want to do that? He's inside. Come on in.
I just push Aaron ahead of me.
As you step into the room, you can see these two sitting at a focused, intensive chess game. And Lewis sat at the other chair, kind of watching with dead eyes as pieces move across the board. And a somewhat magical, illusory sort of clock seems to be hit repeatedly by either of the parties. But as you move into the space, Lewis looks up with a glow in his eyes and says, "Well, hello there, former roommates. How are you doing?"
Yeah. Aaron?
Fine. So I have a little gift for you. It's up on the...
Oh, and I got something for you as well. And immediately he rushes over to his chest.
Well, my gift is up on the 4th floor, hidden in one of the
Hold
suits
on.
of armors.
And here you go. And he holds out a pouch Says, ladies first.
No, thank you.
I was
not just here for.
Not right now. I have a gift for you hidden in one of the suits of armor up on the 4th floor, and when you find it, I will meet you up there and we can do it together.
Well, we've got one right here, right now. Let's just do it right now.
No. We're gonna do things my way.
Oh. I like a woman that takes charge. 4th floor, you said? All right. He says, just enjoy some of the fumes as he pops the pouch open, and you, much as you try and resist, get a little bit of the, as he just inhales a bunch of it and says, all right. And you can watch as a small static flows across his fingers as he says, I feel more powerful already. Oh, gonna be a power. Or even a couple. You're a good lady, you know that? All right. I'll meet you up there then. He kind of squeezes his way out and says,
It's like as he starts to walk by, I'm out.
he glances to you, Rhiannon, as he passes and says, you gonna join us too?
Maybe.
Oh. He begins making his way past. As he passes you, Bernardo, are you hiding from him or visible?
I'm just looking like some other random person.
Okay. As he
no one he would know.
Yeah.
No one
he
would
passes,
think it would be me.
who is just another student, he says, hey Jeff, wait till I tell you what's about to happen.
That sounds crazy. Bye.
As he departs. Alright. He's out of the room, and his two roommates look to you, Aaron, and say, one of them says, what's gone through your head, woman?
Oh, that's just to get rid of him.
It's a little cold, but oh my. Not gonna worry about it.
So, Bernardo, 60 seconds later, walks into the room looking like Lewis. I forgot something. And just play off the whole spiel about, once we get up there, it'll be so much fun. He'll go over to where his trunk is. I don't know wherever.
Yep, sure.
It was.
I was gonna say one of us would have told you since we.
I just go over to the trunk and start rummaging through it. Like I know what I'm looking for. Like 'cause I do know what I'm looking for, but like I know where I put it. Just start throwing things out. But like where'd I put that paper? And so I'll just go through all of his stuff and try to steal that paper that grants him access to the downstairs.
Okay. Yeah, the chest is open. He just pulled out a pouch of urgent dust. That's easy. You can get in there. You can find his note, his little access note that he got made for himself, and yoink. And,
so I'll pop on that. Take here it is, and see does he have any other virgin dust in the trunk?
Yeah, he's got two little pouches.
Take those as well. We're gonna need this for an all-nighter. Oh yeah, come on, girls.
Girl, I'm gone.
Just remember, you have to play my game first.
All right. And he looks at his two roommates and goes, "See ya, losers."
And they look unfazed by that comment.
He'll just leave, go to the stairs, and then transform back into Bernardo on a different floor.
Perfect.
So I still don't know what floor I live on.
Well,
we don't know where we live.
Yeah, at this point, Bernardo, you've been transferred up to floor 3, as in accordance with your level, and the other two of you have been transferred up accordingly as well. We're not going to go through the whole process of moving you.
No, that's fine. We just didn't know where we lived.
So that's 2 more packets of powder?
Yup.
All right. That makes 7 for me.
As soon as I see second Lewis come out, I will follow him to the stairs.
Okay. So.
I knew you'd come around. Yeah, my kind of girl, huh?
I just poke him in the back of the head to make sure that it's Bruno.
Shh! You got to learn how to deceive. You got to keep up appearances.
What? Like, I wouldn't try to just make, like, just annoy the hell out of Lewis, because I would.
We need to get out of Dodge before he comes back.
Right. He's got 2 floors of stairs to hike up and then back down, so I think we have time.
He's also been told to wait. So,
Yep.
And he's also a crackhead, so...
Also that.
Are the 3 of you headed to the lower level, the second level down of the tower, to take a second shot at those storage rooms?
Yeah.
That was our intent.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Then to there we go.
Also, side note, I'm surprised I didn't throw up during that whole interaction.
I'm proud of you. I really am. Because that's why I wasn't saying much of anything, because it was either that, or like I said, my normal game plan is turn into a bear. And I don't think that would have helped the situation.
No.
So what do you think?
I would have felt better.
Good Lewis? I can be Lewis, right? I'm good? Yeah? Yeah.
Yes, you are, because I was disgusted.
I guess that's a compliment. I'm not sure.
It means you're a fabulous actor.
My mother said I was a class 1 bullshitter. Now I know what she meant.
Mm.
And he'll just start walking down the hallway. Now,
Alrighty.
the note that I got, it is for a requisition for supplies, correct?
Yes. So,
Alright, so it's the other door that I squeaked under as a spider, so I can do that again.
you are making your way to the south side of this, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, the room down here.
And then the requisition gets me to the east, correct?
Right, the requisitions get you to the 2 storerooms on the east side, yes.
Right, so from here is where I scooted into a corner and turned into a spider.
As you turn into a spider, Bernardo turns into a like a giant-sized spider, and just kind of like. Although that was more like a beaver.
Yeah. You get a very. If you've ever I don't even know if spiders can get confused, but the Rhiannon spider is very confused.
It's a Bernardo-sized spider, but he knows he's not doing it well, so he just turns back into Lewis.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so Rhiannon just crawls up.
Well, Aaron, it's up to you and me to ransack this place for everything it's worth.
Good.
I'm ransacking the other place for everything it's worth.
How long do you need, Spider Girl?
Oh, so before I turn it, I can do this for 2 hours. I don't know how much stuff I could, because I can only do it twice, and I need to rest for an hour. But as much stuff as I can fit in my bag, because my bag comes with
Okay. We'll stay down here for 2 hours. If you're not back in 2 hours, then we'll assume you're dead and we'll move on without you, but we'll be sad.
I mean, I can make a whole lot of noise too if I am dying, so you know I'm dying. Even if
All
you
right.
can't help me, you just hear help, I'm dying, so you know I'm dying.
Okay, let's hope it doesn't get to that.
And just start climbing across the ceiling.
And take it away.
Climbing along the ceiling.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
And as I'm crawling back, the armor doesn't do anything, does it?
It does not.
Good. Okay. And then I squeak under the door. Which is what I've
And
done before.
you are able to do that. One moment. Sorry. Yoink, there you go.
Alright. Not a spider.
Actually go in.
First thing I'm gonna do is look for that gem thing I saw the last time I was here and stuff that in my bag first.
Okay, so you were looking for the small, rounded stone that gives off a soft, purplish glow. It seems
That's
similar
step
to
one.
the one that Bernardo had found before. Great. You open up that chest, it's still there. Yoink.
Yeah, and then I'm going to actually, because I feel like I have more time this time, is look through the books that are here. I want to, or if there's anything that looks like information about the school.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's there, but like anything that looks like it might be, because they're hiding books down here. It's one of those.
Right.
See what I can.
Perfect. So, looking for information on school. What you could discover is, let's see. What would be in this room? Sure. There is a history book called The Extraordinary Constructs of the Exaurus, which may be of interest. Taking that. There is, let's see. This is going to be mostly published books, less sort of internal
in
documents.
that case, like most of the published books is just kind of one of those.
Right. So I think that's going to be your best bet for information on the tower, in specific. Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna give it, because I started going through these chests.
Yep.
Just a quick kind of cursory look in the chests if there's anything.
I'll say, of interest, beyond the spell scrolls, which you've already discovered some of. I don't know if you want to yoink any more of those. That would certainly be noticed. But in this chest, you find an assortment of wands. Seem to be tipped with various colored gemstones. None of them appear to be Vergent gemstones, interestingly. But there is an array of wands within.
Because I personally don't know a lot about wands, I'm gonna move them. So I've grabbed what I'm here for, so I'm going back into spider mode to crawl back.
Okay, fantastic. So, you are departing. You've taken the stone for Bernardo and the book on Exaurus constructs.
Yep.
And that is all.
Yep.
Did we find anything in this room while she was gone?
What were you looking for? Tell me that.
Everything. We were just going through everything in the room, like, what
Okay.
is here?
Sure. This room, on the backside is where you discovered the Virgin Powder stores. But on the front side, primarily what you're finding is food stores. This seems to be the place where all of the food that is cooked in the kitchens is stored. And so you can open up boxes to find vegetables. You can find dried meats. You can find a vast variety of non-perishable goods. How they acquire perishable goods, not as directly clear, but this seems to be the space. There's also a general chilliness here, so this seems to be not a refrigerator, that is, but this isn't going to make things rot particularly quickly either.
It's a cellar. He'll take a potato and toss it at Aaron.
Aaron, potato, what do you do?
Potato.
Bernardo throws a potato at your head. What do you do?
Thrown at your head.
Duck and pick one up and throw it back at him.
Do I show up in the middle of a potato fight?
So disappointing. I was expecting your fire to lash out and cook my potato. However, I think there's more dust over here.
Are you going to
Just
steal
gonna wander
more
around on this
virgin
ceiling
dust?
for a while.
Just like 1 or 2 more packets.
Okay. Add
Trying to skim off the top, like make it not noticeable that a whole chest has gone a little from here, a little from there.
Yeah. Okay. Add 1 or
You know,
2.
it's all about embezzling.
Perfect.
And while Bernardo's not looking, Aaron is going to send over a mage hand holding a potato and just drop it on Bernardo's head.
I have in fact arrived at a potato fight.
So floating potato hits him in the back of the head. Ah! Damn it, it's not even
On top
cooked.
of the head. Not even in the back.
It's not even cooked!
All right. Well,
I will finally drop down and turn back into me.
Are we done? Are we out of here?
I hope so. Hi.
All right,
I
well,
think we're good.
Lewis, I always want to say Lois, is going to lead the way back out.
Huh?
At a very brisk pace.
It's not that brisk. I'm faster than you.
I will take you to this corner because, in fact, there is something of relevance which occurs as you round it.
Oh dear.
If you would, Rhiannon.
Oh dear. Boop. Oh.
Walking steadily and stopping suddenly, Headmaster Barrows is face to face with you. Says, hello. Just the person I was looking for, in fact.
Oh. Really?
Curious that you should find yourself in my path. Perhaps a spot of destiny.
Something like that.
Rhiannon, oh, hello there. Would you mind joining me? We'll go just to the first floor into one of the office classrooms so that we might
sure.
become acquainted.
Sure.
Wonderful. Follow me then.
Uh-huh.
He waves to you, Aaron.
I just kind of look back at Aaron like absolutely terrified.
Send help.
Yeah, basically. I mean, if a single expression could scream, that's what would happen.
You're gonna sound like the armor did.
Basically, that is what my soul is doing. I am not actively screaming, but
Only I could wild shape.
All right. So
now everybody wants to. Of course, I can't wild shape again unless I, sit down for an hour, just chill.
You can only use it once.
Twice. Spider in, grab stuff, spider out. Twice.
Got it. Well, 60 seconds after you leave, I'm coming out looking like Lewis up the stairs.
fantastic. So as you are exiting, as Rhiannon has left, is there anything else on this lower floor you're doing, Aaron Bernardo?
I think we should be good.
Other than, like, where we've already been, did we notice any other storerooms or anything?
The only thing perhaps of note would be the servants' quarters, which are in this direction.
Bernardo's actually going to go over to see if there's a door that he can peek in to try to gain familiarity with someone's form in case he needs to impersonate a servant.
Sure. Go ahead. Go ahead and move along that way. Just to get a general
You didn't even need
scope
to
out.
steal from Lewis.
What'd you say, Rihanna?
Didn't even need to steal from Lewis. If you could turn into anybody, we've seen servants at breakfast and dinner every day.
As you're walking this way, you
Yeah,
can
but
see a
that's more
door
fun.
open, just
Okay.
leaned open, and can hear the sound of snoring from within.
He'll take a look.
A servant, like any other.
So all this floor, and there's only a few servant rooms. How many servants do they have here?
You can see there's a bunch of doors in this way. So there's 1, 2,
Okay.
1, 2 at the end here, 2 on the right, 2 on the left. There's 2
The
in this
doors
corner.
aren't very apparent to me.
Indeed.
Because of the blackness, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can go
well,
ahead just for
are
your
they
reference
locked?
right now, and some of them maybe. I can go ahead and open them here. We may as well here. Just give you an idea. These doors are closed, but this is just to give you an idea of the nature of the space here.
Okay, and he'll just kind of, any ones that are not locked, he'll just quietly open, observe the occupants, if any, and move on. He's not looking to steal anything from them, just wants to
Perfect.
be able to turn into them at a moment's notice.
I'll say you have both a male and a female servant's disguise.
Okay.
In that case, let us go to the first floor of the tower, where Headmaster Barrows and Rhiannon presently find themselves. Making your way up the stairs, the headmaster will say to you, "What do you think of the place? I know it's not forests where I'm sure you hail from, but I believe it has a sort of antiquity about its beauty. Would you
It's
agree?"
comfortable for a prison.
Oh. That's not the spirit I'd hoped to hear from you. Yes.
Yeah, I was arrested for making a flower and ended up here. Don't exactly understand why people think I'm going to be happy. I am also in a place without windows. I can't see outside. I don't know what time it is. I don't know what day it is.
Thank
I don't know
you.
how long I've been here.
Thank you very much for bringing your concerns so directly to me. I do quite appreciate the honesty.
Mm.
So he makes his way to this door, leads you both inside.
Okay, there we go. It was
Yeah.
like, it was still black, and I was like, I'm in a room of darkness.
He makes his way to the desk and has a seat in the chair. Now,
I just kind of lean up against this desk.
as this is occurring, I'm going to do a thing. But first, we'll continue this chapter of the conversation, in which he'll say, "So, you find the accommodations discomforting. You find your stay here objectionable. Tell me more. Want to hear."
This is your school, so I'm sure you understand that some of us did not come here via application.
Of course.
And as you mentioned, it's not the forest. Can't see the sun or the moon. I've seen potted plants. Even your greenhouse doesn't have windows. Of course I'm uncomfortable.
It is a good thing, then, that you were one of the ones chosen for what has transpired. And at this time, I'm going to temporarily, but please do stay on deck for this, deafen the other two of you in our Discord, so that the conversation may remain private, but our alignment can stay as is such. So, keep listening. This will be only for a brief period. And we will place these here. Audrey, it's just you and I for the moment. As the headmaster leans forward, says, "So, we decided to enact a special plan for the four of you arriving, to allow your natural power to bleed more quickly through into your lives here in the tower. An operation and an acceleration for your paths forward. And my hope to bring you to status of equals to us here in power.
What?
You must understand that we maintain this system by obligation. The Virgin Empire would have it no other way. We must play by their rules. But we seek to work around it whenever and wherever we can."
Hold on. You don't like this system either?
I am a mage. Do you think I would agree with this state of things?
Honestly, I don't know. I came from a place where magic flowed freely and it was fine and everybody just did it, and then I get in trouble. I come here and I get in trouble for doing what
Indeed.
I've done since I was a kid, and
And I'm very sorry for your negative experience in coming here. Do truly understand that I lament it. And yet, it is as it has been. I have many things to attend to, but I hope that this has been the beginning of a positive relationship which I might have with you.
Potentially, yes. I mean, forgive me if I don't completely trust you. I've only been here a week, and like I said, came here a little not in the best situation.
understand.
But so again, I come from a very completely different world from here. So magic users who are allowed to do magic just work within the system because they have to.
Well, that's correct, of course.
This place is a prison for everybody. Oh.
Now, lastly, my new star student on her way to promotion, Alvina. I've seen you and your friends spending a lot of time with her for this first week. Is there anything about that association which you would be interested to share with me?
Again, don't quite trust you, but I will say that we came here under similar circumstances and are finding comfort in people who have been here before us, like us.
Indeed. Might anything that you are curious about... Well, I'll leave that for another day. Thank you for your honesty.
Thank you.
All right.
Rihanna just kind of slumps on the desk. Like, she's like sitting, like leaning on the desk. She just kind of slumps on it. Okay.
IRL, I am fully proficient in lip reading, sir.
Uh-huh. Oh, man, you got
Just
us.
Listen, I don't play poker for a reason, so.
I
So-
am not, so I will need to be clued in later.
Indeed.
I was just kidding.
That's what class breaks are for. And dinner. No, dinner is for eating and making sure that Bernardo doesn't eat my dinner.
I am hungry.
So, where
Hands and
will you
wine,
all
what
seek
happens?
to reconvene?
Third floor.
Third floor.
So, okay. Because do we still have break time at this point? Because I know we're in between classes. I just wanna... Okay.
I will say that you will need to rush off to your next class, but this meeting will happen
Okay.
after that period of time when you all can finally get together and catch up. So it is
Yeah,
here.
Aaron would have used the message cantrip to tell Rhiannon where to meet us.
Perfect. As
And Bernardo's wondering if she's still alive or has been turned into like a pod person.
as others are making their way off to the meal that is at hand, you find yourselves here. Some
Not a pod person, not a tree.
comfortable benches to sit.
We go over. I believe this is where my room is. I'll just take him into my room.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd
Oh.
rather that.
Gee.
Because I really don't feel like having this conversation in front of the potentially screaming suits of armor.
Perfect. Okay, let me shunt us over to what was for a time a room that someone else stayed in, is now the room that Bernardo is staying in on the corner here. Have a seat where you see fit. I'll go ahead
I just
and
fall into a chair.
Right.
This place isn't what it seems.
He turns into
Ooh,
Lewis
yeah.
and gets in the hot tub.
Why are you so creepy? I'm trying to be serious. Place is not what it seems. The teachers don't like it either. I think. I didn't
Can
tell
you
him.
elaborate?
So, because I'm me and I'm annoyed, I told him that I'm annoyed. And, well, he told me that apparently we're part of some plan because the mages are not actually cool with this whole not being allowed to do magic thing. I don't really trust him. I didn't tell him a lot. But this is more of, at least from what I've been told, this is more of a prison for all of us. Not just us. That the mages they have to follow the rules, or, it seemed.
So he told you they're building an army of golems and training all the students for a revolution?
Are you deaf or just stupid?
I'm an optimist. I resent those remarks.
He says as Lewis in the bathtub.
It feels really good to say that to both Bernardo and Lewis.
At the same time.
Yes!
If you stay looking like him, I can't be responsible for my actions.
Just know, aim lower, he's still his height. Remember, I tried to slap him, it didn't work. Just know that. But anyways, so far, no word about golems. But we're part of some plan to speed up our magic or something. I was too confused on what was going on because he gets it. He's not this. The teachers are like us. They've got to follow the rules, or else the non-magic-y people get mad.
Did you consider that he lied to you at any point?
Potentially, that's why I didn't tell him anything, but this is what I was told, okay? I am just telling you what I was told. Now, here's the thing. He wants to meet with all three of us, right? If he tells all three of us the same thing, well, A, he's telling the same freaking lie. However,
I am pretty good at knowing when someone is bullshitting me.
Good, because I'm not.
It's okay,
kind of trust
you're
people.
not a halfling.
So now we have the question: is Bernardo actually good at telling when people are bullshitting him, considering Rhiannon's response?
Because he rolled a natural 20.
Listen, my wisdom is high, but I do not have proficiency. I trust people, okay? That's just my thing. That's why I'm here. I was like, oh, sad child, let me make them a cute little flower. And now I'm in prison. I'm dumb.
You know what else?
Not as stupid as you, though.
Trees.
No, trees and flowers are different plants. That's not the same.
Oh,
But
trees definitely make flowers. Look it up. It's in a book. You should read one sometime. They don't have those in the forest you're from?
No, we use trees for things like housing, not books.
Quit your bickering. We've got better things to do. What did he want us to do?
Right now, he didn't tell me anything he wants us to do. Just what's happening.
Will you submit to a mental examination? I will need to know if he got inside your head.
How? How are you going to do this?
So he transforms back into Bernardo, gets out of the hot tub, and he directs you to lay down on the bed, and he pulls out a scalpel.
Nope!
Are you performing a lobotomy?
No, I was just gonna check her mind.
With a knife?
This is how it's done.
No, it's not.
Wait, so all of a sudden you're all experts at mental examinations?
And you are?
Had
Where
this
are
done
your
to me plenty
credentials?
of times.
That's why we're not doing it.
Don't you sell carpets?
I said done to me, not performed. I've seen it enough times to know what to do.
You have scalpels put in your brain?
Yes.
That explains so much.
I feel like we need to find you a therapist.
I feel like you guys are focusing on me instead of the problem.
You're making it far too easy.
Let's redirect.
Okay, the redirection is not cutting my brain open.
Said anything about cutting your brain open? What's wrong with you people?
I'm just pointing at the scalpel.
Scalpels are for cutting things.
Oh, it's for cutting my apple. What the hell is wrong with you people?
Scalpel for an apple?
Well, I can't walk around with a dagger drawn all the time.
There's an in-between.
It's
A
called
spork?
a table knife. You could just get one when we have breakfast or dinner.
It wasn't handy. But yes, now that I know my two companions are psychopaths, I shall keep to myself. Excuse me.
I'm not. You know what? Fine. This is the last time I tell you that maybe things are a bit stranger here than they already seem.
I'm on board with that.
By
I'm
the way, I just
referring
pull
to
out
your.
of the stone from my bag, and I'm like, "You want it?"
Are you offering it?
Gonna keep being an ass?
I don't believe I've been an ass at any point, but your opinion is your own.
And I hand him the stone.
Thank you. You were cutting out. I didn't hear what you say, but he thanks
I
you
guess
profusely.
I just said, "Don't point a scalpel at my head again." And hand you the stone.
It was for an apple. I mean, are you an apple tree? Are you conceding that you're a tree?
Maybe don't talk about a brain examination when you've got a scalpel in your hand.
I was not aware I was among the dull-witted, but point taken.
Okay,
Aaron's
again,
gonna smack him upside the head.
thank you. As I said,
Ow.
I am dumb and trusting. Okay. So when you say brain examination, a mind examination, and pull out a scalpel, I'm going to have opinions that are horrifying. But
I
anyways,
apologize for terrifying you.
but the other thing, we can talk to Alvina at dinner. I know we said we talked to Lomé. I can do double duty. Talk to Alvina. Talk to Lomé. Totally
talk-
do it with plenty of time.
Talking to Lomé is going to require more finesse.
I'm just gonna tell her classes are fun and yay.
She does not want to cause any trouble. She
Exactly.
is of no use to our cause.
Correct. So just surface level conversation. I like magic. Yay!
But we may be able to get something out of her if we can just finesse it and be subtle. She seems like the type that may give it up accidentally.
Okay, I'll
what
let you
up?
guys handle that, and I'll just keep her distracted because I have the subtlety of a moose. I can turn into one of those, by the way.
Moose.
That might
What-
cause a commotion.
I mean,
what
yes.
information do you believe that she possesses?
Don't know. But I just suspect that she's hiding something.
I think you're the one to find out then. She does not appear to be someone that I can converse with on a mutually understanding level.
Again, I think we eat and talk to Alvina. After we're done eating, go talk to Lomé. Because Lomé wants actual conversation, so I don't want to have my mouth full.
Okay. So,
But I'm not going to push the subject if Lomé
No.
doesn't seem forthcoming.
Exactly. We just, yay, magic is fun. Hooray.
we make
Just
our
make her
way-
feel like she's got friends, which she wants, which is cute, and I like it. She's adorable.
back to the dining hall. Your stomachs are all growling after that conversation at dinner time. You look to the usual table and see no sign of Alvina, though your other three compatriots are there. Looking
But I
across
look
the
in the
hall,
opposite direction.
you can see Alvina sitting with one of the other higher level students, Damasthes, who you interacted with briefly.
Right.
And Alvina looks a little bit uncomfortable at a first glance. And
I
Bernardo,
see that face.
yeah.
And I know what that face is. And I'm like, you know what? We can talk to her after we eat. Let's go say hey to Lomé.
Bernardo
I
seems
will.
to have been to have approached though.
I saw the
Split.
face and it's
Yeah,
like
they could talk to Lomé.
I did the face to Aaron earlier. I know the face. We know the
Bernardo
face.
doesn't know the face.
Okay, Bernardo
Bernard-
doesn't
yeah.
know the face and slides in as Damasthes is saying, I think that I'll be having my promotion soon as well. Oh, hello there, little man.
Hello there. Was that necessary? Little.
But you are you not?
Interesting. Apparently you do not have the sight. However, hello and happy whatever today is. I forget.
And Alvina will say, hi, Bernardo. Nice to see you.
And he'll just look directly at Alvina and say, "Are we in acceptable company?"
She says, Oh, Damosthenes is a perfectly acceptable man. And she winks to you, with an eye not visible to him. He's a lovely man. He asked me to, share dinner together this evening, to congratulate me on the promotion that's coming. Says, absolutely, it
Much
was
as-
the proper thing to do.
Much has happened. We must speak immediately. Finish your dinner date congratulatory stuff
She'll say,
thing.
yes, Bernardo, much has happened. We'll have to talk more about our chess club things later.
He's already up and running. He
That's-
seems very excited.
Bernardo's back on his way over. What are the rest of you asking
Yeah,
this
just
crew over here?
down. LeMay, as you said, haven't seen each other in a while, so dinner.
Yeah. Maybe I'm cheating a little bit by coming over to your table, but here I am.
They're not assigned tables. You can sit
No.
wherever you want.
No, they're no.
I think. I mean, again, I've only been here a week, so I don't know. I mean, I don't really know how this works, but it seems like you can just sit wherever and food just comes to you, which is good. I'll give it that.
She looks to her right and says, "Oh, hey, Aaron. Oh, wow, your hair looks radiant today." And then says,
Thank you.
So, Rhiannon, Aaron, how you doing? How's everything?"
It's been a lot, but good. I mean, you know, lots of school things, just a lot.
Bernardo catches up.
I just give him the "you're an idiot" look. You know, the one that Aaron gives him a lot too. I'm learning from Aaron.
So, what you want to talk about? She asks.
Well, you said you're working on testing up a level.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going? I know you
Good.
said that you I remember you were having issues with cure wounds. If you needed my help, definitely willing to help out with that because I've been doing it a little bit longer. If you need that, because
Why don't
I
you roll a
don't know the
check for her?
testing thing, because didn't test out of anything.
That's the last one I still can't get.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can definitely help you, I hope. Like I said, been doing it a while. And yeah, I know healing is not everybody's.
Let's meet a middle period tomorrow.
I think I can do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds good.
yeah,
See you
I
then.
can do that. Library?
Sure.
Again, I know like 5 rooms in this building. So.
Library. Perfect.
Right. So, Bernardo, you lasted a whole long time over there.
She was on a date. It would be rude of me to persist when they're clearly infatuated with each other.
Yeah, Aaron and I noticed that before we got all the way to the table. I'm really starting to think that me saying I have the subtlety of a moose really, really discounts your subtlety.
Perhaps it was the height difference you are so fond of. He did insult me, calling me little man, so I will have to duel him later. However, first things first, she will be over to speak with us when she is done on her date.
Yeah, it's fine. I just wanted to pick on you, not for your height, but just because I could, I guess.
While Rhiannon and Bernardo continue their verbal sparring match, Aaron, had you had interest in trying to inquire with Lomé about information?
So, Lome, how have classes been going for you? It doesn't seem like you've progressed much.
Oh, they're going well. I mean, as Rhiannon kind of noticed, healing magic. I don't get it. But I'm trying.
It's not for everybody. It's fine.
I just want to ask, have you ever noticed any other students that don't I don't seem to get the hang of stuff here.
That's interesting. I guess I'd never really thought about that before. But most students I've known are either fairly new, like Cedric over here, and you all, or have leveled up a couple times in my time here, like Salave and Lewis. Johnston's only ever been 3rd level, though. All my time here. I wonder what that's about.
No idea. I was just curious.
Yeah. It's an interesting thought. You wonder how things work around here, but they just keep it going.
Maybe you should look into getting some tutoring.
Well, Brianna's gonna do that for me. She's gonna get me all set. Right?
Whoa. I will do what I can. I will help.
No, you don't need to do anything more than that.
I mean, just I don't want to oversell myself and then you don't get it, and then I feel really bad. So I will try, because again, I know the spell, so I figure I can help those who don't know the spell as well.
Yeah. That'll be great.
Yeah.
Is there any additional? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering, has Lulu said or done anything the entire time we've been here?
Not today.
Okay, no, just
I mean, she's probably.
I keep an eye on her because she's very strange.
Yeah.
And also, again, it's like I feel like she's gonna say something. It's gonna be important later, so I'm like, keep going.
So, the meal continues, and as people are sort of starting to leave, you finally see Alvina freed from her engagement, making her way over towards you all at your table, as she slides in on the edge of the bench and says, "What'd I miss?"
I had my meeting with the headmaster.
Was it any better than mine?
It was something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'll let you ruminate on that, and I will also, because it was a lot. And I mean, mine was after yours, so I'm even closer to when it happened than you when yours did. But yeah. Yeah. I just look at Lobe if she's has any reaction to that. Okay, good. I just want to make sure, because again,
She doesn't seem to at this time.
okay.
Hey, Lo May, you can come with me and you can practice your medicine skills on me. You can make me better. I got this cut.
She looks at this.
Won't seem
Oh
to
no,
heal.
where is it?
Come on, let's go. You can practice your magic. Come on.
Is it
look at
somewhere?
Lobe.
Is it somewhere private?
It's on my leg, but I'm not going to lay down on the dinner table. Come on.
Well, just pick up your pants.
Not that kind of halfling.
Well, I'm
Never
sorry.
mind. I was offering to help you.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't need that.
So I just kind of looked down the table at Alvina. I was like, I think I'm gonna go start heading back to my room. I actually ate a meal. It's really weird not sitting next to Bernardo when I can actually eat everything. And I just gonna go for a little bit of a walk, probably by the greenhouses or something. I just start walking away.
Is there something
Hoping
you see?
Alvina gets the hit.
Oh, okay.
Then I'm like, we needed to talk, and I love, and LeMay is adorable, but
Okay. For the sake of brevity, are you mostly interested in filling?
Yeah,
her
I'm just gonna
in?
tell her basically what
Okay.
he said to me, and
Fantastic. And she will convey that he seemed to generally inquire about her doings, her accomplishments, and she had anything to share with him.
yeah, I will tell her
and-
that he asked about her, but I kept it at we're both here on for the same reason, and so
Righto.
we've become friends.
So,
Yeah, no, just sort of. Yeah, but again, like I love LeMay. She's adorable, but this conversation needed to be had away.
indeed. Are there any things at this dinner, or are we ready to move to the next day? Perfect. I will ask for the general aesthetic detail of sitting next to Lulu. Will Bernardo poach her food?
He will try. He's kind of a little, how do I say this? He's a little uncertain of what the outcome is going to be, so he'll like steal a little bit at first, and then as she doesn't react, if she doesn't, he'll just
She
kind
does
of
not.
generally increase his amounts taken until he's got it all.
Yeah, you can get about half of her food. She's eating very steadily, slowly, and doesn't seem to notice the missing food.
Just helping you out there, dearie.
She just kind of blindly nods. So, why don't we go then to the first floor? To the. Let's get Rhiannon set here. To the greenhouse. At middle period on the second day of the week. And that will be Lomé and Rhiannon. And Professor Hoban will be about if you, Rhiannon, wish to ask him any questions. And so we will jump ourselves to here. And yet we will not be beginning this scene until after our little break for the middle of our time. So I will see you all in 10 minutes, and we will continue your inquiries. And we are back, everyone. Let us continue. As we left things, Rhiannon, you are meeting with Lomé in the Arboretum, the space with the bees, the apiary, and the garden. Professor Hoban is on hand if you need assistance, but otherwise he will just be watering the plants. And you may aid her as you see fit, as at this time, on a broken leaf, she is attempting to cast a mending spell.
Oh boy. Wait, mending?
A healing spell.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
Mending.
I meant more in the metaphorical sense.
Yeah. But
Okay, she's gonna have advantage with your help. Oh my gosh. You are the magic person. And she goes,
I mean, yes. Yes. There. That's how it works. Yes. See, this is how my mom taught me.
okay,
How
I'm
she
gonna
taught me
try and do
easier.
it again.
Uh-huh.
I did it again!
See?
Yay! And she jumps
Mom's
up in the
trick
air,
worked.
and then she runs over to you and gives you a big hug.
She's just like, uh-huh.
Ah,
Okay.
thanks, Rhiannon.
Of course.
Thanks,
Of course.
Professor Hoban. He'll say, oh, good job, my dear. Okay. I can do this. And she
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
smashes one of the leaves again and then successfully heals it.
When Brianna just sees her hand, and I was like,
Oh,
okay.
okay, great.
You got this. You got this. See?
I got it.
You're gonna be good. You're gonna be level
I'm
2
gonna,
soon.
I'm gonna go
Great.
review the rest of my texts. Bye!
Okay. Have fun. Oh boy. Thank you, Professor Hoban, for just, being around.
You're quite welcome. Is there anything I can do for you, my dear?
Yeah, I was just wondering, this is kind of silly coming from somebody who grew up around druids, but do you know anything about druids? Namely, different kinds, because my family was all, well, really my village was all the same kind of druid, and that's the whole reason I was out and about, because I'm not the same as them, and I still haven't found any other information.
Well, you see, there's actually one curious detail that I might share. In addition to the many more land-focused druids that are around the lands, I've heard of a kind from the mountains that are more focused on world of dreams.
I've heard about them.
Yes.
Again, just in passing.
A place called the Valley of Rain. The Dream Druids, at least they used to be there, I think, by historical readings. And I think they may have moved up, left the continent. But I think there must still be some there. That place is known, though, for mysticism of dreams, and the Druids have been there. Yes.
Do you know anything about druids who could summon, different spirits, like spirit totem, perhaps?
I'm sorry, I don't have the knowledge to help you on that.
Thanks. It's okay. It's a long shot. I grew up around druids, and they had no idea.
Yes, well,
So,
I'm sorry to hear. I'm sorry I cannot help you further, then.
That's fine. Honestly, thank you. Do you ever miss seeing the sun?
He inhales, and you see his gaze furrow a bit. There are many solemn things which we must accept, as is the way. I have made my choices, and they have led me here. To regret, to want different, the past, is to waste one's time. That is all I will say. And then he holds a hand up, and he conjures a soft beam of sunlight above plants at his feet, allowing them to blossom.
And it just kind of gives himself, thank you. and just kind of wanders off.
Indeed. Now, as Rhiannon is exiting this space, Aaron, I believe that you had sought to speak with the professor of dueling on the 4th floor,
Yes.
Professor Grimbold. So why don't we see about that? Let's get things set here. That is set. Perfect. And perfect. So dueling class is actually going to be after this break, so you'll be able to go straight to that at the right time. And you can find the professor preparing his things in his office and approach him, which I will take you to right now. So, as you enter his classroom and see Professor Grimbold, he gives a bit of a grumble as you approach, but says, "Hello there. What can I do for you, young Sun Song?"
I just had a couple questions.
Please.
So the surges of magic like I've gotten, is that normal?
Normal, yes, and normal, no. He kind of looks around the empty room and says, "Your initiation to the Mage Tower was somewhat different than others. You see, there is some amount of power which you carry within yourself when you enter the tower. In order to have a fair and equal system for those who are new to properly rise through the ranks, we suppress a bit of your power when you arrive, so that you can grow with the other students. For yourself and the others that joined you, we experimented with a lighter suppression. It has affected falling away far more quickly than past experiments such as your associate Alvina. So, yes, that should explain to you what you need to know."
All right, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Is there anything else that I may assist you with?
I think that's it for now. Thank you.
Very well. So, as you now move to exit, let's slide this in. A little bit of behind the scenes, and there we go. That is in. As you move to exit the room, Aaron, you may open this door to meet a familiar face. Standing directly across from you is the headmaster of school.
Oh, hello.
"Hello indeed," he says. "Well, I was to speak with Professor Grimbold, but I suppose I might go right to the source. Come, would you? Professor, would you mind if we occupied your other classroom?" And Grimbold will say, as you see fit, Headmaster. The tower's yours, as you know." He says, "Of course. Follow me if you would." He will lead you here into this room, taking a seat in the teacher's chair here, and offering you whichever part of the space that you would like.
Aaron's gonna grab a chair and bring it to the desk.
All right. He will say to you, Aaron, "How was your meeting with the professor? Productive, I do hope."
Yes.
Good. Well, let's chat, shall we? And at this time, as I did before, I'm going to be deafening the other two of you, so this conversation may remain, for the time, private. And... oh. And... bum, bum. It's just you and I, Gina. So, Professor, the headmaster, as I should more clearly put it, will speak to you. Say, now, Aaron, you've blossomed faster than any other student I've had.
Yes, I've noticed that.
And you were speaking with Professor Grimbold. Might
Yes.
I inquire whether you have a theory or an understanding as to the nature of your rapid growth?
I personally did not. I was just confused by it, so I was asking him if that was normal.
Indeed. I will leave his expertise on the matter to educate you. I am primarily interested in making a good formal introduction of myself. You may know me, beyond my title as headmaster, as Wiccan Barrows. I've been, well, in this tower as long as I can well remember. I've done my very best at making it as comfortable and engaging as a living place as possibly could be expected. Now, I might ask if there are any questions which you have for me.
Not at the moment.
Fair indeed. If time should such allow, you may do your best to find me, and perhaps I may answer them at that time. I do wonder. Your friends and you seem quite anticipative of coming events. Is there anything that you might wish to share with me about your plans?
I mean, I haven't really been doing too much, just kind of listening around and trying to see what's going on.
With respect, that isn't entirely what I've heard. I've heard that you've been quite enterprising in your recent arrival here, making names for yourselves, showing yourselves amongst the power structure of this school. Quite formidably, I might say. Even exploring and understanding the full scope of the tower rather quickly.
I guess you could say we're curious.
Indeed. And about what, might I ask, beyond the basics?
Mainly just everything, like why some students don't progress that well while others seem to progress rather quickly, and just the structure of everything and how it came to be.
Indeed. Well, I will wish you well in your future endeavors in this place of learning.
Thank you.
Stand and hold the door for you. At which point, going to turn volume 2, the rest of you. And you are back. As the professor, headmaster, pardon my incredibly clumsy tongue, makes his way towards a higher level. So, immediately now, what is next?
Finding the other two.
Finding the other two. Perfect. In this time, would this have been... No, we'll hold that for now. Why don't we all meet in the library? good a place as any. Meeting, I will say that your history studies were today, and you were left with perhaps some exorbitant homework that you're all somewhat digesting. And so as Aaron arrives here to fill you in on current events, as well as the presence of, I will reintroduce other students in the space. So here, and here. What is it that you wish to discuss with your party, Aaron? Anything?
So I had an interesting meeting with the headmaster.
Tell you.
He seemed to want to know what we were doing.
Yeah. He's asked me the same.
Didn't really tell him much. I don't trust him.
No. No, I told him outright I didn't trust him because I should know that. So he just asked you about what we're doing?
Basically, he wanted to know, like, what we were curious about, the way the school works. And what exactly we're looking into. I tried to give as vague of an answer as possible.
Oh.
How did he know we were looking into anything?
No clue. Apparently, he has heard that we're very enterprising.
I mean, you did run into us in the basement. I'm just going to put it out there. I mean, I did tell him I hated the fact that I couldn't see the sun, but, I mean, again, have I been quiet about that? Not particularly.
Why don't you trust him, Aaron? If he seems to be a prisoner here just like we are.
He didn't give me that vibe. He gave more of the vibe of trying to find out what the heck we're up to. And I don't like that.
He's too nosy.
Exactly, because who cares what a bunch of students are doing?
So, that brings to an end your recapitulation of those events. You do have...
I do. I did also want to let them know, just as a, his name is completely escaped me. The professor I literally just spoke to.
Hoban.
Hoban, thank you. I talked to Hoban, and just to see his reaction, I asked him how he felt about not being able to see the sun. He seems stuck here, like us. But more resigned to the fact that he's stuck here.
No one wants to be the change. Everyone seems cowardly and afraid to make a stand. Rihanna, you're going to have to work on your speech. You're going to give it to the entire tower to have them rise up behind you.
What? You're Mr. Charisma. Why don't you do it?
I'm a halfling.
I'll give you a box to stand on.
Needs to be said.
I'll just give you a box to stand on, then you'll be my height. It'll be fine.
Alrighty. So,
okay.
If that brings to conclusion, then, a recapitulation of those events. Is there anything in specific which you all care to discuss over the dinner period or breakfast period bordering the next day? Or shall we simply move through them?
Bernardo is not going to discuss it with his compatriots. However, he is going to have a conversation with his blade about escape, power, needs, wants, and timing.
Okay. Does that need to happen now, or may it well happen tomorrow?
Just over time.
Perfect.
But he is going to attempt to attune if necessary, or do whatever needs to be done with that second stone.
Yeah, and I've already applied that to your sheet. It's going to be another copy of the same thing. Another opportunity to pocket a spell, and another +2 to your charisma.
Holy cow.
Ah.
Lord, the last thing he needs more charisma. His ego grows.
That's
Yeah.
not my ego, ma'am.
Didn't need to know that.
I don't
Start
know.
calling you Lewis number 2.
I'm
Lewis
just
to
remaining in character.
Electric
Uh-huh.
Boogaloo.
I'm the dude playing the dude.
Dear Lord, help us all.
Okay. So, I will take us here then to the 5th floor. Bernardo, during the next day's morning. Would it be morning? When would you decide to take your time to head to the 5th floor in search of that additional stone which you have the lead on? Try and find it.
When the floor is not filled with classes in session.
Not filled with classes in session. Okay. Alrighty. So maybe then evening or early morning?
Early morning.
Early morning. Perfect. Early morning before students have gotten too rowdy or up and around. So, here now you find yourself, and in this time you may, as you seek, discuss with your blade what you wished to. What is that?
As Lewis strolls casually amongst the 5th floor,
Yeah.
he speaks to himself, kind of like if anyone were to observe, he's simply a madman, discussing things with himself. Now, speak true, Blade. What is it that we are searching for? Because increasing my personal power is, of course, wanted. What do you require from me, and more importantly, what will affect our escape from this hellish prison?
Love, I'm sorry I haven't told you more than I have, but frankly, it's actually for your own protection. I hope you'll understand this soon enough, because as it'll come down to it, if you continue in your endeavors, you will. Let me put it simply as to say, right now, to say much would be to risk... Ooh! What's that? She says as you begin wandering in this direction. Would you like me to finish my thought, or shall I tell you what I noticed first?
What did you notice, and then the thought?
I think I can almost smell another one of my stones here. Very close by. You can see this student is kind of thumbing through one of his new itineraries and goes, "Oh, damn!" Stuffs it into a pack and starts jogging off real quick. He says, pardon me. He makes his way past. And your blade will say to you, yes, that room, that's the one. Someone in there. They've got another one of the 6.
It is attended? Someone?
Yes, I believe they have it on them, much the same as you do. The 2. I did not approve of this, though. Somehow he has managed to coax the stone to do his bidding.
He'll try the door handle. And as he's doing so, he says, and finish that thought. Do not forget.
You're able to open the door. She will say, at this time, parts of your mind, they're like tall grass. And the information that I know, it's like, a great scythe. I cannot prune, I can only cut. And that would hurt you, and I don't want to hurt you, my dear. It's the last thing that I ever want to do.
Mummy, is that you? He'll just kind of jest and take a step into the room.
You can call me Mommy if you like.
Now he's creeped out, and he's usually the one doing the creeping.
As you step into this space, you can see an individual who seems to be at this time sleeping on one of the
Is it
beds.
someone I recognize?
You do not.
And is it only one person?
Yes, it seems to be only one person in this room at this time. You can see a disheveled bed here, which is where the other student, which you just encountered, likely came from.
Taking a quick look, is the footlocker open?
The footlocker is presently closed.
He will stop for a moment, reach inward mentally, and will the stone that he doesn't already have, assuming there's one there, he will will it to come to him.
As you do so, you feel a sort of resisted pull, but you feel the resistance coming from his person.
So he knows that there is a stone and this person has it. Do they circle? Like, is it circling?
Not at this
or is it
time.
something he can snatch out of the air?
It seems that this man is wearing sort of a nightcoat that may have, you can see one sort of pocket up here sort of on the shoulder, and possibly another one beneath him, and other pockets. He's laying on his stomach sleeping.
All right, well, Bernardo will very deftly rifle through his pockets. He wants the stone, and I mean, it is probably possible to discern which pocket has it just by the bulk, and then attempt to retrieve it from that pocket.
All right. I'm going to say that it's not too difficult to locate a stone-bearing pocket, but I'm going to need a sleight of hand check to try and withdraw it without waking the man. Unless you want to just wake him up.
Wasn't my goal.
Let's do a contested roll on this, considering his reaction to your waking may not be entirely so
Be a light
pleasant.
sleeper. Please be a heavy sleeper. Please be a heavy sleeper.
Yoink! You withdraw the stone from him, and it immediately sort of magnetizes to you and takes orbit around you. You can hear the blade go, "Ah, what a relief."
He just walks away as Lewis, whistling. Not a heavy whistle, but just smug and satisfied with himself.
Perfect indeed.
He
Making
closed
your
the
way,
door behind him.
as a good man should. Making your way through this hallway, you spy a figure at the end of it, standing, looking in your direction.
I will approach him.
The headmaster looks down towards Lewis's crotch area or stomach, towards the eye line of Bernardo.
Good morning, headmaster. Out for my constitutional. I notice your gaze, and I wouldn't have expected anything less. Shall we?
We shall. And he
If you will follow, if you will lead.
begins to walk in this direction.
And he actually said that if you will follow, and then corrected himself as if someone used to giving instructions.
Perfect. Leading you to this room. Let's have our final one-on-one chat, shall we? As I presume you will be dropping the illusion, or no?
Yes.
Yes. He takes.
Bernardo has
his
decided to
seat,
live his life as Lewis just cause.
'cause he can. Alrighty. We'll hear from you shortly, ladies. Let's pop these up. And this one. That's right. Alrighty. As he takes a seat, Headmaster Barrows says to you, Bernardo, "My good friend, how has your stay been in this tower?" Ah, I see. Now, we are set. The headmaster says to you, Bernardo, how has your stay been in our tower?
Frankly, it's been suboptimal. The servants are appalling, the meals are mediocre at best, and the entertainment is very lacking. Not a good poker game to be found anywhere, and he'll just go on a very long list of things that he is displeased with.
I would recommend, if games you are seeking, that you perhaps take up the dragon chess. It is, I find, quite a stimulating experience.
Is it competitive?
You need to know where to look, but if you do, quite so.
Interesting. Thank you for the tip. Now, I believe there was something you wanted to ask me.
So quick on such an uptake might you be? Indeed. I would offer you the opportunity, if anything in particular you may have to share with me, that now would be as grand a time as any for you to do so.
My friends don't trust you, and having just met you, you certainly don't have an air of trustworthiness about you. However, my interest...
Many of the greatest men do well to keep trust at arm's reach.
Indeed. Having said that, you are an enigma to them. But to me, you are simply one more man seeking power. Whether that be power over his own fate or power over others remains to be determined. But in this, we share a common goal. For I too seek power. I am an open book. What would you ask me?
I am aware that something has been retrieved from the restricted section in our library. I am aware that it is not unique within this tower. Curious why such an object may be of interest to a new student.
I've already answered this question. Power.
Indeed. Another one of these objects I use, I would say, as a paperweight in my office in the 10th and highest level of the tower. Would be simple for me to part with it if something of fair trade you had. Information, perhaps?
Your price? You must be specific.
I will not ask for anything specific. That which you know must be willfully given, and reciprocation of gift may follow, if you should choose.
Fair trade and business interests me. I will tell you that I am not happy here, and I seek to leave this place. I doubt the methods that are in current use result in very many leaving in their optimal state. And I will say to you that I intend to be the master of my own fate. I hope this does not put us at odds.
Well, of course it does by category. And yet, as two men of esteem and power, I see nothing wrong in your endeavor.
Then let us dive a little deeper. The question has come to my attention that you are not able to leave here of your own accord as well. I do not wish to suffer that fate. And if I was able to break said bonds, all would be welcome to join me.
Indeed. Well. Ah. I believe the path is now clear. I appreciate what you have shared. And yet I sense this is where our interaction for today concludes. If you should seek to volunteer further offerings, I will be open. But for this time, my mind is satisfied. It will stand.
And yet, you have not offered anything in return. Are you saying that my contributions were minuscule and irrelevant?
I would say no such thing. You may receive my implications as you wish them. He walks towards the
Noted.
door, opens it, holding it open for you.
Bernardo leaves and gives a... He is familiar with royalty and, being a minor noble from a minor family. He gives the man respect in a courtly way as he leaves and bids him well.
All right. And so at this time, I'm going to bring our others back in. As this conversation is concluded. So, as the headmaster departs, Bernardo, I imagine your stomach is overtly grumbling.
It is time for second breakfast. Even first breakfast.
Indeed, it so certainly is.
He will head down to the eating area.
I will take us all to right the now. Here we are. Eat as you see fit. And
like a shark.
Discuss if you desire.
Fate does play tricks, and yet now I know for certain that it is not fate and that we are being monitored. He found me early this morning as I was conducting my business and research, purely scientific purposes, of course, and we had a discussion.
Oh.
Yes, he offered me power and a bribe in exchange for information. I simply told him that I did not want to be here and I was planning to be the master of my own fate and removing myself from this place, and offered him and anyone else a chance to join me should I succeed. He thanked me, made his cryptic statements, and left. He did not seem very interested in discussing many topics, as he simply was satisfied with the one, possibly two statements that I made. I feel like he did not gain anything that he did not already know. He did tell me that I was welcome to try to retrieve a paperweight from his office on the 10th floor. And for a brief
interested in?
second, yes, and for a brief moment, he'll let the Iowa stones. I think they're invisible, or are they visible?
They are visible. Yes.
Okay, and I'll have 3 of them circling me, and just kind of retract them just to see if they even notice that there's more than there were before.
Those around the table will certainly see 3 smooth stones which orbit Bernardo as he describes this.
You have more rocks. Proud of you.
I am something of an archaeologist now, apparently.
That's fossils, not rocks.
No, actually, I think he was right.
Oh, wait. No, that's something else. Never mind.
I
don't
will.
know a whole lot, but I think that was right.
I will say, as for your classes yesterday, in dueling class, you have all learned and may mark on your sheets knowledge of the Scorching Ray spell.
Pew pew.
Indeed. At this time, Alvina will lean in and say, "All right, tomorrow is the day. In the morning, I go for my exam, I believe. And break, we meet. And during the Omnisphere period, we go to the 8th floor. Lulu and I are both equipped and ready for that. You all should be prepared for whatever we face."
What do you think we might need?
It would benefit all of us if we could retrieve this other stone on the 10th floor. Have you been up there, Alvina?
She shakes her head and says, "No one goes up there. Only the
And yet,
headmaster."
I have an invitation.
I believe you said the invitation was to attempt to steal from him.
Yes.
That seems like a recipe for disaster.
Well, nothing worth having is ever easy. However, I don't believe he was threatening me. I think it was more of a gentleman's challenge. Why even tell me about it at all?
That's fair.
Alvina will say, "He's spoken with each of us. He's given each of us some information. He's asked each of us if we want to share information with him. And he's, perhaps, at least to you, Bernardo, giving you something to chase. All this tells me is that we're on the right track. And if we play his games, we're right to win his prizes." I imagine that stone's pretty important to you, Bernardo, but I'd also venture that pursuing it now would be doing exactly what he wants. And I don't think that's what we should do right now. Take my meaning.
Yes, indeed. I think your original plan is sound. We go to the 8th floor. He does seem to know everything we're doing. We are being watched. He is in our minds.
We've been careful, so if that's the case, any time will be as bad as this one.
It's a magical effect. He has some sort of scrying in place, of course.
Brandon just looks over at the armor. Can't you scry on an object? These things
Certainly.
are all over the place. Would make sense. Be able to see any given point in the entire building at any time.
So you all have classes today. I have more work to do, she'll say. Where do you all want to meet before we head up tomorrow?
Do you believe that tomorrow will be our last day in this tower?
I believe there's a chance of that. This is why I'm asking you to be prepared.
I cannot speak for myself, but I am fairly certain my two associates here, he looks at Aaron and Rhiannon and says, would like one last chance to really tell Lewis what they think.
Yeah, I don't, actually.
Oh, you don't want to kill him? I believe that statement came out of your mouth, and this would be your last chance to do it.
No, I said I wanted to slap him. He's obnoxious, but...
Aaron, do you wish him dead?
Not dead, just away from me.
So if we leave the tower, we're away from him.
Fair enough.
He's
I was
just
merely
amusing.
giving you an opportunity to express your displeasure in a more physical way. That's all.
So, Bernardo, here's the thing. Being of the lady sort, I'm sure Aaron and we both dealt with that before. It's a thing. It's obnoxious. It's terrible, but you don't have to kill it. Just
No, because it's not violent. You just stay
usually
away.
makes it worse when you attempt. Yeah, it's just gross and annoying. That's all. Again, gross and annoying.
Well,
The
your
violent types you deal
reaction,
with. These types, you shove in a closet and you lock them in there.
your violent reaction to my impersonating him led me to believe that you wished him dead.
I slapped you.
Slapping is not equivalent to death.
Just slapping.
Oh, I see you're not familiar with the ways of the noble. Slapping a noble is a death sentence.
I
Yes.
just look at Aaron and I'm like, do we look like people who understand nobility?
Haven't
really
I
You
explained I grew up
look
on the
like
streets?
people who
I
may
mean, sure.
have lived in a country with rules, yes.
I lived
And
in the
knowing
woods.
that slapping your betters will result in your death.
I don't see him as my betters because I'm technically above him now.
I never really was exposed to people better than me.
He just kind of
Well.
whispers to Rhiannon, talking about me. I'm not going to kill you, don't worry.
Again, I can become a bear. You
I
can't
have
kill me.
fire. Don't mess with me.
I'm a bear or a moose. Both. If I'm
So,
gonna
I don't know if you'll let me do this, but as she's talking about bears and moose and Aaron's is talking about fire, he just wants to change his head to look like a moose head breathing like smoke plumes. That's all.
I love it.
And then back
Perfect.
to his normal shape.
Oh
Perfect.
man, I gotta figure out how to do that. Not the fake version, like become a real fire-breathing moose.
Not sure what the
I
point of
can-
that was, but okay.
I can put you in contact with a being who can show you how to do such things.
Sure, I can figure it out.
And he talks to himself real quick. He goes, what should they call you?
Not yet. Not yet, Bernardo. Soon.
Never mind. Your lack of interest in my words is apparent. And he'll just get up and go about the day.
All right. So, at this time, we will jump to the same place, just like the turning of the clock as you find yourselves here at the... So that was breakfast. This would be then the evening. Or even, shall we cleanly make it the start of the next day? In which case, Alvina has grabbed her breakfast and departed. Lomé and Cedric will join you at your table. And then in this time, Lomé's eyes fill with excitement. She says to you all, I'm gonna get to test next week to go up to second level. I'm so excited.
That's
Good.
great.
You're good.
Are you all participating in the Omnisphere games? You all have had your invitations and assigned positions.
But do we have to, is the question.
Well, you're going to be doing something that you...
I know that, but am I going to be lying or telling the truth is the question I'm asking. Well, kind of lying still, but do we because we had the invitations, does that mean we have to participate is the question.
That's the assumption.
It's on a normal day.
Yeah, the assumption is, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be participating in one match you had scheduled.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Oh man, that's going to be great.
Maybe let's bring the moose this time. Anyways,
I was going to ask how many matches are scheduled.
Usually it is 5 matches scheduled.
And how long did each one usually take?
Each match usually takes about 15 to 30 minutes.
So if we get knocked out first, woo, boo-hoo, we lost.
Your plan is to completely skip the event. You're in booking as the 4th match. So
So if
Yeah.
we're not there right away, it's totally fine.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that was kind of what I was getting at.
yeah. I might miss the first match though because I do have to do some extra studying.
Oh, of
But we'll
course.
definitely
Anything for studying. And at this time,
Me, old study face.
a couple of individuals approach your table.
Oh God.
Sullivan's gonna hop up on the edge of the table here. Lewis standing behind her with his arms crossed and a pouty expression on his face.
Out of the way, but continue eating.
Sullivan says, "So, we're matched again today.
Oh, how delightful.
How've your classes gone? Pretty good?
Classy.
Maybe you'll put up a little bit more of a fight this time?
If I remember correctly, we beat you. But whatever.
That's what you think.
No.
I always play the long game.
No.
This
Okay,
time,
but-
I'm not gonna play fair." He hops off the table and gives a snicker. "Say what you want to say, little man." She speaks to Lewis as she walks away. Lewis walks up to the table. He says, "What has society come to? When a woman
Well-
asks a man to meet him, enjoy some time and some substance together, what does he get? He gets left alone."
Yep.
Yeah, you're not my type. Sorry.
"And you never
Stop,
were.
creepy.
Ah!" And then he storms
I mean-
off with balled fists.
You're not my type because you're not a girl. Sorry.
That's what you get for hitting on lesbians.
And he's off.
Oh, poor baby. I'm so sad.
Lome says, "Oh man, I'm gonna be so rooting for you guys today, but I have to double check every piece of work that I've done for later." And he gives you a big hug, Aaron, and you, Rhiannon, and then runs around to you, Bernardo, and gives you a hug as well. And then moves over to Lulu and just kind of hesitates for a moment, and then gives her a nice pat on the shoulder. And then dashes off.
Is her reaction to awkward moments hugging people?
Perhaps. Lulu will kind of have a soft frown on her face and say, "I wonder why she didn't hug me." Cedric will just shake his head and say, And then look up sort of at the group of you and say, "Good luck today, and whatever you do."
Thank you.
Whatever we do will be glorious.
Now, as Cedric begins to get up and step away from the table, another occurrence is in the happenings that I might note for you. Through the front entrance of the tower, you observe two clay golems marching. Walking in stride with them is a hooded figure in a dark cloak, one you do not recognize. You can't make out many details of their form. It's almost as though the folds of the cloak conceal it. But that figure and
Human
the
size, halfling size.
human sized,
Okay.
yes.
Hey, I narrowed it down a little.
And as the figure and their escort passes across the hall, you can see the form of the headmaster step through the precipice of the doors as these figures approach, and the headmaster gives a nod and falls into stride as they exit space.
I look at Cedric. Is that normal?
As he's getting up, he says, "No."
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Table.
This guy over here, his name's Johnston, I think. Did I remember that right?
Yeah, him.
Yes.
Who's been
We haven't
drinking
talked to him
forever?
for a long time.
Oh,
You haven't, but
actually,
as you look over in his direction, you can see he's sort of stroking his chin, looking towards your table.
I believe that to be an invitation. It's now or never, ladies.
at our table, he can come over here. I'm kidding. We get up. Okay, yeah.
Lulu, as you're getting up, says, I'll see you. 5th floor, shall we say?
Of course.
After
Yeah.
break.
5th floor.
Hmm.
Make your way if you wish to Johnston.
Yeah.
A couple of these other apprentices will clear out a bit of space.
Beat it, losers.
We make everything awkward.
Go team awkward.
I'm great at it.
As you have a seat, Johnston looks at you all and says, Interesting visitor.
Oh,
Yeah.
we just asked Cedric the same. So this isn't normal. Like, I just
No.
want to make sure.
News to
somebody
me.
else been here for. Oh, okay.
You know,
At first, I thought maybe it was them bringing in a new person, but that doesn't seem what it is.
I wouldn't say so.
I look around the room and go, I don't think the students are made of clay. So yeah.
No. Says, look, I sort of made a commitment to you as a veteran member of the tower when you arrived that I would be on your side and help you out with anything you needed, and I'd like to take the opportunity to do that right now.
Oh.
You've all been given chances, I'm not sure if you recognize them or not, to correct your course, and it seems, at least, that you haven't quite done so. I'd just offer you one last reminder that actions you take have consequences. And it's always a humble thing to do to stay the long path.
Have you been in 3rd level?
I've taken the long path.
Everybody here is really cryptic. It kind of annoys me.
Yeah, I'm not quite understanding what you're saying. How are we supposed to correct what we're doing? We're just going to classes and whatever.
That's right. And I suppose I'll be seeing you in the Omnisphere Games this afternoon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I certainly hope so.
I'm curious, Johnston. You say that we've been given chances to correct our course, but who are you to tell us that our course is wrong, and how do you even know what our course is unless you've been looking into things that were not your business? I appreciate you looking out for me, I truly do, but I am curious as to how you've come about this information. Truly. If you want to help us, help me understand.
Sure. I'm a friendly guy. I talk to people. People tell me things. And I am not telling you anything is wrong. I'm just a last signpost, marked with danger.
So what the heck are we doing wrong exactly?
It's not my space to say. I think you all will know.
No, because clearly we're not getting the subtle hints.
I'll leave it to you to discuss amongst yourself. I've said too much already. He stands and walks off in a bit of a huff.
Said nothing.
Once again, being told by somebody who wants to be here that we should just be happy with imprisonment. Love it.
Apparently, because I'm not sure exactly what we've done wrong and how we're supposed to correct anything.
Oh, we've done a ton of things wrong. My question is, how does he know?
Yeah, exactly.
We haven't seen him at all.
The headmaster knew everything we've done as well. So
That's
unless he's
Less
speaking,
surprising.
unless he's speaking with the headmaster or they're having meetings about us, and if that's the case, then I'm truly flattered.
Because I was about to say no one's outright come out to us and said we're doing something wrong and we need to stop.
I'm wondering if what we're doing wrong is making friends with people who got here like we did.
The quest for knowledge seems to be what is irritating them. They don't want anyone to know the truth. Therefore,
Right.
they're hiding it, and the closer we get to it, the more that the signposts feel the need to speak to us.
Right, but again, it's because we've made friends with people who came here the same way we did.
That reminds me, I have something to tell you guys that I forgot to mention when I talked with the dueling teacher.
But
Narrows
Not
his
here.
eyes.
okay. We gotta walk to class anyways.
You don't have class today. Today has the
Alright.
free period.
We have
So-
to walk to somewhere.
Bernardo's calling bullshit because he knows
We have to
that
go
she
somewhere
can,
private.
because
We
he
have to
knows
walk-
she can use telepathic messages.
This is perfect. So
Oh, also that. I'll use message.
I will
What's
take
the
us
plan?
then to the room on the 4th floor where Rhiannon has now been staying, which will be here, where you might
Holy
discuss.
crap! I know where I
Making
am.
conversation on the way up, Bernardo tells them that he's going to be high as a kite later and amped, so don't be alarmed when he becomes a psychotic gremlin.
Becomes.
Watch.
I mean, what?
Song.
All right.
So, I talked to the dueling teacher. I asked why some people don't seem to progress that well, and why others like me get random surges of power. And he said that they used a lighter form of magic suppression on us
Whoa, 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 whoa,
when we
whoa!
arrived.
Rewind. Magic suppression?
Yes, they suppress the magic of everyone who comes in new so that they keep the levels the same. They keep everybody on a similar level.
Bernardo draws his blade and says, I knew it, they could not keep me down for long.
What is
Rhiannon-
your sword gonna do here? Stop it.
Rhiannon just calmly walks to her
You can't
bed,
even see his sword.
picks up the pillow, and screams into it. Then puts it back down and sits back down at the table.
Apparently, they used a lighter form on us that's wearing off quicker.
I'm fine. I'm okay. Everything's fine.
So that would indicate that we are more magically capable than most others here.
But how much was suppressed? This is the thing. What?
That's what I don't know.
How much time have we lost?
I don't know.
Time, no. Experience and memories.
I don't
yeah,
know what
That's what I
makes...
mean by time. Is how much is missing.
I also don't know how they decide how much magic they're going to suppress and who gets more suppressed. Because I didn't want to probe further because I didn't want to raise alarm.
Oh, that's fair. That's good. So, down in the room that I've snuck into a couple times as a spider, there are books. I found this one, and I pull out the one about
History of Exaris buildings, basically.
Xarx Buildings, which is
Yeah.
this building. Okay, it's a published book. It's probably not important, but it exists. I have something about here that was hidden. There's other books and stuff down there.
You want some?
I didn't know I
some
was looking for magic suppression.
relevant
or I would've-
skimming information from taking a quick skim of that book.
Yeah.
The information which immediately jumps out at you about this structure. Not only was it built several hundred years before the Origins vision which you saw, as part of the Exaris regime's reign over Cadlia, but that it was built as a prison, first and foremost, which you knew from the Origins vision. And that
Makes sense, the lack of windows.
of relevance, aside from a magical containment field built into the outer stones of this tower, that it is organized into 10 floors ascending and 10 floors descending.
I've only gone down one.
And
Wait,
down
two.
2 floors.
Crikey.
Maybe we're going in the wrong direction.
I mean, maybe. But also, had I known I was looking for magic suppression, I would have added that to my list of things to look for while I was downstairs.
What would they possibly use for the 8 floors, the subfloors? They keep everyone above ground, except for
So we
the
know
servants.
that floor, the first subfloor, is where we were kept.
Let me ask you a question, Rhiannon. Can you
Mhm.
move Earth?
Not yet.
Something about a cantrip or something.
Oh, that is really little. That'd take me hours, if not days.
It could take years, but it is a way out. If we find the
Theoretically.
right subfloor.
However, again, magic containment in the stones. The floor would be stone too.
The spell
So,
doesn't work on stone anyways, it's only earth. So we
right,
find
we
a
need
place
to.
that is not
But
stone. And you begin.
don't.
That's our contingency plan.
If I was building a magical prison, I would make the whole with magic containment stones. I would make sure the bottom floor was also stone. So, but so we know the first subfloor was where we were held. Second subfloor is where that dry goods slash drugs room and the we don't want you to see it stuff room. There are wands in there, by the way. I didn't understand them, so I didn't grab any. Much like scrolls, but again, they probably get noticed, and I didn't want to.
For now, those eyes just like pop out. Like, what?
I didn't
Oh,
know
and
what
by
they
the way,
were.
he knew we took everything. He knew everything we took, so
Fine.
I don't even think he cares.
Again, if what he told me is true, there's a whole lot more weirdness going on here.
He did not say anything about. I confronted him with that. He said nothing.
So again, when I said to Hoban, I just asked him if he misses the sun. And the way he answered me is he made a decision to be stuck here, but he's stuck here.
Probably to avoid death.
Likely. I'm just wondering if we've got all kinds of pieces of information. We don't have the whole story because nobody can tell us the whole story because it's dangerous.
So wait. Now here's a real question. If this is a prison, why are people allowed to come here of their own volition, number one?
Because they don't like magic users.
Number two, what actually happens to people? Do we graduate or what?
That's what I've been saying all along. I don't believe there is a graduation.
Because there's nobody older here.
We don't know what goes on in 8 subfloors or really any of the upper floors.
I believe that they are put into these suits of armor or made into golems or some other unholy thing, but
Or trapped in those subfloors.
yes, or ground up into virgin dust for all we know. Where do you think the dust comes from? There's no like with the population here constantly doing this dust, where do you think they're getting it from? Nobody's mining it here that we know of unless we can find a mine, but they're not bringing it in. How does it get replenished?
Guys, or this isn't the only prison.
That
Maybe
too.
there's other schools where the people who graduate here go and be teachers elsewhere.
Seems very unnecessary, but possible.
Hide people when you move them from one prison to another. You don't want them to see.
If they want to keep all the magic users imprisoned, then that makes sense.
I think Erin is right when she says they accept the ones voluntarily because it's far easier to bring them in willingly than to abduct them.
But also, didn't Lomé mention, like, she's seen magic users. She's not from out here. She's from out there. She's seen them that are, like, sanctioned and stuff. So there is a place for them. It's just probably people like Lomé who are more,
willing.
You have to be on the winning side.
And then there's people like us who get stuck in places like here because we'll run our mouths.
How does any of this help us?
The fact that we know that there's more subfloors.
The fact that we know that more subfloors, the fact that we know that this isn't as simple as it looks.
And the fact that we're slowly figuring out more.
How do we know that we are not any kind of scoffs, but it says demigods or some such? Our power was stripped from us. Who knows the extent that they took from us? Perhaps they are scared of us being released upon the world again.
Or maybe
Why not
again,
just kill us?
The most I did prior to being in here was just using message and mage hand and maybe lighting a candle.
you remember.
That's not even your memory.
Okay, I definitely do remember like my family. Like that's a thing that happened. It was real.
I would have had no
Um,
use for the full extent of my magic out
But
on the street.
My family had to routinely clean the minds of the servants who found too much information regarding our finances and debts. Changing someone's memory is rather trivial once you acquire the knowledge to do so.
here's the thing. Again, I don't think this is an us against the teachers thing. It's an us against stupid empire thing.
I did not get the same vibe that the two of you got from him. He mentioned nothing about wanting to leave, nor anything about being dissatisfied. He was merely approaching it as a game like a cat would play with a mouse.
I'm not being him. Again, it's obvious it's obvious that people out there don't want not just us, because we're not the only ones got brought here against our will. They don't want magic users out there unless they have complete control over them. That
Over
says that
People like
anybody who uses magic.
So you're giving
Is
up
the
your
problem.
free will in order to return to the world. That's what it sounds like you're saying.
I mean,
you-
I'm not personally, but what I'm saying is that whoever they are, because again, I didn't grow up in this society. I don't know
Government.
this. But whoever they are don't like us. And by us, I don't mean the three of us. I mean us as in everyone in this building.
Bernardo will just calmly, inwardly speak and say, "And what is your role in all of this? Who are you?"
The answers to that, your blade says, are behind that door
On the 4th floor?
on the 8th floor.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the door.
Oh,
There's a door in front of it.
yeah. Let me also
Yes,
mention.
the answers are behind the door to the bathroom.
Well, let me also mention while the ball's sort of been passed to me for this moment, in your final class period, yesterday, you finally got to see the promised to be amazing star-seeking class, which was kind of neat. You manipulated very small stellar objects shining brightly through the room and got to pull them across to create shooting effects.
We were going to see outside.
But you also learned how to fold smoke around yourselves, and you also all have learned the Misty Step spell.
No! I am unstoppable.
So, with these points of discussion in mind, also, Paul, have a look at the message I sent you in Roll20. Respond if you'd have the chance. Are you ready? Are there any final things you need to do, besides a friendly little bee lodging itself in Rhiannon's ear, to go meet with Alvina and Lulu on the 5th floor to make your way to the Vault of Memories?
Do this.
I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah. Can't hear you, Paul.
The first option, if possible. You're responding.
I hear you. Sure, we can do that. All right.
It's been a couple. I've got all my wild shapes. That's the important part. Okay. Yeah, let's do this, I guess.
All right. Let's do this. So,
And real quick, what does the 3rd stone do?
oh, that's right. You got a 3rd stone.
He's a rock collector.
3, which means yoink. There you go.
Wow.
Big charisma, Bernardo.
Oh no. Stone gave him more of an ego.
Very much so.
So,
No.
you make your way to the 5th floor to wait for the arrival of your 2 compatriots. After a short moment of time, Lulu trots up the stairs, waves with a soft smile, and sits down to wait alongside you. Several individuals have rushed past your position, making their way clearly to the Omnisphere while you wait here. And you continue to wait. No Alvina. Keep waiting.
Nervously using druidcraft to make flowers.
Another
and, like,
15
making them
minutes.
disappear again.
Bernardo will wonder where
Aaron's
she
just-
was supposed to be coming from.
Aaron's
Like, do
just
we know?
flipping a small flame between her fingers.
Lulu says, I don't know where she was. I think she went upstairs. She left from breakfast in a hurry. She just said, she said she was going to the 4th floor to meet with the professors, and that from there they would conduct.
Floor before we came here. You were in my room.
Aaron, can you message her?
I'll try.
4th floor is just a floor below this. That would be within range, I'll say. There is no receipt to the message you send.
No response.
Lulu says, how long do we wait?
It should be instantaneous, and it's.
No, I mean,
she would
how long do we
definitely be
wait for
within range.
her?
I think we should go find her.
Yeah.
What classrooms are on the 4th floor again?
Dueling.
Dueling.
Lulu shakes her head. She says, no, I don't think we should.
Okay.
She has been promoted. What happens to students that are promoted?
They go upstairs.
I've never. Yeah, they would usually go to the next level.
She's a 6th level student. Is she becoming a teacher?
I don't know what happens after that.
Well, 2 golems and a cloaked figure appear at the same time that she's promoted. I'll tell you this, it is my belief that if we are to ever see her again, we must go and find her because she probably needs our help.
Lulu
This is
says,
concerning because I'm already 5th level.
this is the last distraction. I knew this would come. Sorry. Didn't mean to say that.
Don't
but
apologize. What is the last distraction? For what?
To stop us from our purpose.
the vault on the 8th floor.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go there now. The
Okay.
timing is right. I have what'll
Okay.
get us in. What's inside will help you all move forward.
What about you,
Okay.
Lulu?
I'll explain when we get there, because the answers
Okay.
aren't in my brain right now.
That's fine.
Let's go.
Okay, let's
It's
go.
what Alvina would want.
Aaron is going to
Let's do
send a
this.
message to Bernardo and Rhiannon with the cantrip saying, do you think this could be a trap?
I just respond, if it is, it's not Lulu's fault.
Yes, but we need to go.
Stay on your toes, she'll say back.
I just nod. Because, like, Rhiannon has suddenly gone into protector mode over Lulu because she's really worried about her.
Okay. So, you have made your way to the 8th floor. The armors remain, and as Lulu walks past this one, she cringes a bit, but keeps walking. Let's get everyone along here. approaching this blue glowing door.
Going to send a message to Bernardo and Rhiannon. You saw her cringe, right?
I'll just reply, yes. It seemed the same when the spirit wailed. The cringe. She probably experienced it.
Lulu approaches this door and pulls out what is a long, thin rod, metal it seems. She says, "This wasn't easy to get, you know." And as she taps it against her hand, there's a flicker and a spark, and like a firecracker, the tip of it begins to and says, "Don't touch that." As she holds it to the top of this doorway and slowly draws it across the crease. You can see where it has been left. There's sort of a crackling, almost somewhat fire-like, somewhat lightning-like energy that remains, and as she reaches the bottom of the frame of the door, you hear a and she will slowly push on this stone door, press it open, pass within. She can only open it but a creak, as it is heavy and she's not that strong, so you'll need to move into the room alongside her to see what's within. Yep. So let me go ahead and move you all in. You enter a room filled with tables. Upon these tables, you see vials. Vials filled to varying heights with glowing colored liquid. Most are approximately half full. There is a number, those which are gray on your map, that have barely any within them at all. And you can see Lulu's eyes trace directly to a blue vial over here, which is the sole vial that is filled almost to the point of overflowing. She looks around and points out, says, "Look for you." She starts walking towards the one she looked at before.
Take a minute to kind of clear my head so that I can, if there's any kind of something that feels like a draw in any direction.
Okay. You can make a wisdom check for me.
Your highest score. Please help me this time.
Dear Santa Claus.
I'm just gonna move under one of these
Inspiration.
tables. It's my new home. I live here. That's where I belong. A druid who cannot make a wisdom roll. So after feeling nothing, I'm sure, I just start looking at each of the bottles.
Gonna message both of them and ask, what the heck do you think these are?
As you begin, go ahead, Bernardo.
Memories.
I just reply with one word: memories.
I said this. Yeah, I said the same thing.
But why are some empty?
Because they haven't been here long enough.
Or they
Or been here too long.
too long, and they got them all back.
Either way.
As-
Bernardo will just think to his blade, "Guide me, now is the time."
As you begin observing these vials, you can see on small labels written are names. You, Aaron, pass by this red vial, half filled, labeled with the name Salave, which you recognize.
Gonna message them. I found Salave.
Pocket.
Another thing you note as you've been in this chamber for some time, these vials all are on smooth tables with wooden rims on the tables because the vials slowly seem to move of their own accord. Not quickly, not in any particular direction, but it's just almost as though there's a flow to them as they float across these tables.
I'm just, like, at this point, just reading every label.
Bernardo, you spy a blue vial with your name on it.
He'll snatch it up, hold it in his hands.
Aaron, did you pocket the vial with Salave's name on it?
No.
Okay. Lulu has retrieved her vial. And Bernardo has his. You may continue to search these tables. Move about them.
Lulu, what do we do now? Do we smash the vial? Do we drink our whatever this is?
She says, drink it. If you would like. Aaron, you see this red vial on the end of the table here with your name on it.
Found mine.
At this point,
You also
Rhiannon
see
is
on the other side of you one with Rihanna's
physically
name.
shaking.
Oh, and
Where is it? Where's it?
Rhiannon, yours is right here.
Thank you. Snatches it off the table and is holding onto it. For
Fearsome
life.
bear.
Shut up! So we drink it?
She says, I would mine. And then she kind of hazes out for a second and says, but within are 1,000 years of knowledge. And she goes, oh, too much for my head. Yeah, I think you're supposed to drink it.
Right, Lulu, are you okay?
Did she just say she's 1,000 years old?
I mean, it's pop. Is she
Screw
human
it. This is why we're here. Bernardo's just gonna drink.
Okay? Bernardo has
Aaron's gonna
drank,
watch what happens to him first.
and
Yeah,
immediately Bernardo loses consciousness and crashes to the ground. Lulu catches him, but he drops the vial, which ka-ching, shatters glass on the ground.
Are we
Bernardo
supposed to do this?
is unconscious.
Lulu,
Lulu will say,
being that
it's good that I have these. No one should have these. At least I think that's the case. But I
Wait,
can't take them. Referring to her own
Okay.
memories.
that's fine.
Yes, he'll be fine in a moment. This is just, I think, give him a chance.
I'm gonna sit on the floor and drink mine.
Lulu's one of those pre-origin
Aaron's gonna
story
wait
people.
to make sure both of them wake up before she takes hers.
Okay.
Yeah, we got all day, right?
Okay.
Well, no, she just doesn't want everyone out at the same time. For safety reasons.
Got
You're
it.
right,
So,
but I'm an idiot, so.
Pineapple, pineapple.
you're going to wait for them to wake first. All right. So let's begin then. Bernardo, you witness only but simple flashes of these memories. It will take time for them to reintegrate. First, you see yourself within a tavern across from a man you feel ruggedly familiar with. He is your enemy in the cards. You are determined. And then, within but another flash, you find yourself face down in a muddy alley, still feeling that burning hatred towards that individual. But in that alley, dost a spectral figure manifest. And she is before your eyes, glowing and friendly, offering you a hand to help you up from your disheveled state. You then flash forward again to a time walking along with this figure through the streets of city, it seems, making your way to seeing those in need, those troubled, whom this figure approaches. They don't seem to be able to see her, and at this time, you also can feel the weight of a sword on your hip. And she looks to you and says, "We can help them." a familiar voice. It's the same voice that has spoken to you through your blade. And you know her name to be Io, the name of the stones which you've been searching. And then come to your final visage, which I will share once all of you have consumed your vials. Rhiannon, you next will we see perspective of. You are on a small cobbled path before a child. That child has a glow upon his face as a flower grows from the ground before him. He says, "Yeah, you made it grow!" You glance in the direction of several Virgin officers who look casually in your direction, but then return to a conversation that they are having all the while. While at this time, you watch the approach of your friend, Morakir, from your village. Just as he is about to begin speaking, you flash forwards. You are in a stone mine under the ground. You can see Virgin soldiers to your left, rowdily chattering. They seem disgruntled, but sure in their purpose. Before you is a man whom you are talking to. He says, "They treat us like dirt. We mine these for them," and he gestures to carts full of green glowing crystals. "And we're nothing." He gives a look of disdain towards the soldiers. And your mind flashes again. You are now deeper in the mine. You are exploring. You come to a massive crystalline formation and move up to it, placing your hand on it. And looking within the glow, you see movement. And then your mind flashes to that final sequence. So, Aaron, you witness your two friends beginning to regain consciousness, but they seem somewhat frazzled. Will you drink?
Yes.
Your vision brings you to a marketplace in a city before a cart, which you step in front of in a telegraphed way and then flop yourself on the ground as the rider gives a whoa to stop the horse. All the while, a half-elven woman deftly rushes and climbs atop the back of the cart, quickly swiping several objects from a crate before running off with a salute. But your vision then moves again to an alleyway wherein you are surrounded by Virgin Inquisitors. And in this moment, there is a light like fire from above, and on a rooftop, a figure stands. A figure that you then stand across from, in front of a fine building, who puts her hand on your shoulder and says, "I'm so happy I finally found you." Then does your memory, as with all of your memories, transition to a place which you all are together in. Here you lay on tables, still. Looking up, you can see a glow of red as slowly siphoning from your heads, though you are paralyzed, you can perceive, is a stream colored energy. Aaron, yours is red. Bernardo, yours blue, and Rhiannon, yours is green. While more blue flows out of the mind, the gnome, though not that much. Around you is the headmaster and several of the teachers which you have become accustomed to. At this time, you watch Bernardo as Alistair, the star-seeking professor, takes an empty vial and places it beneath this glowing red contraption above your head. Liquid begins to slowly pour into it. Your heads are throbbing. The pain is intense. And the headmaster looks down with a cold expression onto all of you. And it is his face on which you all find focus. And then it is focus in this past time, in this thought of the future, of what impact he could have on your lives, and in this present, as standing across from you in the room, he is facing towards you, fingers interlaced, finding yourselves still barely manifesting yourself to consciousness. All that can occur is Lulu grabbing your wrists, Aaron and Bernardo, and shouting, "Run!" as she pulls you away from this position. And with a look of shock on the face of Master Barrows, the wall behind you explodes, as crashing and sending you flying over the tables is a stellar object glowing blue. And we will end as your perspectives all perceive the shine of sunlight, no, starlight, from outside as the wall of the tower is opened.
Rhiannon is giggling like a fool.
We will resolve this situation when next we meet. Thank you all. See you next time.